we're going to tab over to the screen, and we have some upkeep to do, Mandos. So, cat, fuck off. As soon as I turned away from the remains of my lunch and decided to focus on the stream, the cat jumped up and started eating my leftovers. You waited. How dare you? We have some upkeep to do. We need to roll our destiny, we need to check our obligations, and we need to pick up the story so far. So in what order do you want to do that, Mandos?
I suppose we roll destiny first.
Alright. All 4 Mandos are here, which means all 4 Mandos need to roll destiny, and we will see where we go. Wow. Out of the gate, that is a lot of dark side. Thank you, Sho. Thank you, Kuga. Wow. Okay, Lynn coming in clutch for the Mandos. So 2 for you.
Thank you, Lynn.
And 4 for me. Yes. Yes, let the hate flow through you, or some such.
Good.
Yes. So there's our destiny sorted for this session. Who wants to roll obligation? I guess I'll do it.
Yeah, I think the GM rolls obligation.
Bye, Doom. I need to get above 70. Is that right? I got a 2.
Wow.
I do believe that's going to be Sho.
If I have the highest obligation, I'm at the bottom of the stack.
Then yep, Sho, you're gonna be our Mando 1 point today.
Fun.
So everybody reduce your strain by 1. Sho, reduce your strain by 2, and your obligation is going to come up at some point today. As far as where we left off, let's talk, Mandos. On your way to... I've already forgotten the name of the fucking moon. Duxon.
Yeah.
To find a abandoned... Imperial refinery built in the bones, or on the bones, of a thousands-of-year-old Mandalorian war, we decided to side quest. While Arcos was recovering in a back-to-tank on the ship, being looked after by the Rhodian radio operator Brooke, the rest of you stopped at a river truck stop spaceport thing run by, of course, Mon Cala, who needed your help with a so-called beast in their under-river transport area. Now, I say river because it's a channel of fresh water, but it's huge. It is absolutely massive, and you had dinky little, inside the game, little pods, little spherical submarine pods to go along this massive, I say brackish, that's not the word I want, brown, muddy riverbed with stuff all around you. There are monsters in this river. You have confirmed that, but they are not the monsters that you were initially looking for, I do not believe. You found a wall of rock potentially rising out of the river, with a tunnel passing through it, which you entered and found a chamber inside the tunnel that is in and of itself a very large lake, and immediately got separated. Sho found a crashed Jedi starfighter all the way down here, off the main trade route, and Kuga found a pit that went down even further, plenty big enough for the pod to get through, a large trench leading down into warmer, more acidic water lit by lava vents and covered in blue and green crystals. And just before we left off, Sho was trying to contact Lynn and was having difficulty in doing so, and Kuga saw a great shadowy tentacle extend from the glowing orange water around him. We hear the sound of a hatch opening and water rushing in. We hear someone gasp for breath, but instead of our Mandos beneath the waves, we see Kuga spluttering, climbing out of a Bacta tank on the Leviathan.
Believe you mean Arcos.
Yes, I meant Arcos, sorry. For some reason I keep thinking Kuga's the Transdoshan, but it is actually Arcos, you are correct. Arcos climbing out of the Bacta tank in the Leviathan, with Brooke standing over him with a clipboard. Arcos, you've been in the Bacta tank for a couple of days. You might be expecting to wake up in the covert, but you are very clearly in the hold of a ship.
Mm-hmm.
And the little Rhodian, like, radio girl is just, like, standing there with a clipboard waiting for you to, like, get your senses. Your helmet's over there.
Thank you.
Feeling better?
And he just kind of looks at her for a little bit and just, no, but thank you.
Do you feel good enough to leap into action? Because we've got a problem.
As he's kind of like shaking himself off from anything left over. Problem.
So turns the clipboard over to you, and it's a I almost said hollow slate. I'm not sure that's what it's called in Star Wars, but it's a tablet, not a clipboard, right? It turns it. Go ahead.
A data pad?
Data pad, thank you. Turns that over to you, and you see radar pings. You don't have any topographical information. You just have radar pings extending from a point of origin with numbers. Three points with numbers coming off of them. And then one of them disappears on loop. And at the bottom there's a little legend. And each of the numbers has a name off from it. It says Lin Miranda, Shoshe Saul, and Kugazil. And Kuga's is disappearing.
Oh no.
There's about 26 billion gallons of water between you and that.
There's that brief pause, and then he looks back up at her like, excuse me?
She's just like gestures towards a window, and there's just river, like rocky river as far as you can see in any direction. You're in a spaceport, but it's like at the top of Niagara Falls.
Takes his time to like peer out while he picks his helmet up. Just I see they get into trouble without me.
I'm sending in the cavalry. This is the way and such. Go on.
All right. Where are my things?
Yeah, just like leads you to your room where all your stuff is, and we diagonal wipe over to Sho in the cramped little like Tony Stark cockpit, trying to reach Kuga and Lin on comms.
I believe I did reach Lin last time, just
But
not
you didn't
Kuga.
reach Kuga.
Yeah. Okay, so she's probably just
If I recall correctly, didn't we hear a roar from the direction of the cavern?
Mm-mm. Kuga did. You didn't.
Ah, gotcha.
Okay, so if the comms aren't reaching him, she's probably going to activate. She's probably going to check the sensors.
Okay.
I know they're crap, but
They're better than nothing.
yeah.
Okay. That sounds like a roll to me. What would the relevant skill be? Computers, I guess?
Computers, yeah, probably.
Okay. So let's start with a base difficulty of 2. And then I'm going to put a setback on this because Kuga's dropped off of the radar. I'm going to upgrade the check with a destiny point.
Ooh, boy. All right.
And
Can Lynn give assistance?
how? Certainly. How?
Probably by triangulating, given a second sensor point.
Triangulation would work if you had a recall, not if you're just like searching. Like triangulation won't do you any good if there's nothing there. But you
Fair enough.
But you could broaden the search. That's fine.
Yeah, broaden the search then.
Okay. So I will give you a boost on that. Go ahead and make that roll.
All right.
1 second.
That's a nice little neutral roll we got there.
Yeah, that is a completely neutral roll. No success, no failure. So that just the most neutral result I can give you is the status quo, which is you get no response from Kuga.
Yeah. Where did he go? She's probably like moving the pod around the area, searching with the floodlight.
This area is large. Let's not understate the area that you're in. There's a shipping lane along one wall with a little tunnel at each end, but the chamber itself, though it is encased in rock, is easily the size of like a football stadium. If not bigger. There's a lot here. You get lots of sensor pings from the trade route as the little ships are crawling along the bottom back and forth. But over here where you guys are, and also up in the water column, it's much quieter. Because, truckers don't have a reason to explore.
Yeah.
I lost track of him when I came back to help cover your search of the ship.
Oh boy. You couldn't have gone that far. It's probably somewhere still in this area.
So maybe we see the outside view of the two pods, like swivel their searchlights and separate to make another sensor sweep, and then we diagonal wipe again to Kuga, who's probably feeling very small right about now.
Show Lynn.
No response. You're in a little corner, Kuga. There's the shaft, the diagonal shaft that you just came down of, and you're in a little nook before it opens up into this wider, becrystaled chamber. But to be clear, the nook that you're in is easily big enough for like a starship to go through. The chamber is just that big.
Are there any of those crystals that are close to where I am?
Relatively. There aren't any in the trench, so to say, but probably 30, 40 pod lengths away. So easily within scanner distance. Big green and blue crystals jutting out of, like, cooled lava.
I think we're gonna go try and scan and see what these are.
Okay. You also will need to make a computer's check. Let me reset the pool really quick. I'm gonna set this as... There's a lot of heat radiation interference in here. So I'm gonna put 3 purple and a red on this check. Your scanners are not designed for this depth.
Okay.
But feel free to make that roll. Oof. 2 successes,
Yeah, that
but
checks out.
2 successes, but 6 threat. Okay.
Yeah, that math checks out.
So the good news is you get the scan. The bad news is, as soon as you turn the sensors on, not only do you get about 1 million... Like, we see, like, Kuga's, like, sitting in the cockpit of the pod. We see Kuga backlit red from beneath because of all the warning indicators that come up on your dash. And then we hear that like, yeah, cavern shaking roar. And something impacts the rock near you, but you can't see what it is. As far as the scan goes, 2 successes. Get out of here, G-Force, I don't want you right now. 2 successes leads that these are kyber crystals.
Right.
Seemingly enlarged by the acid and radiation down here.
Right. Kyber crystals, giant fuck-off monsters, and I can't get a hold of either of those 2. I know when I'm supposed to not be dead, and right now is one of those situations. And we're gonna try to backtrack back up that tube.
Okay, you try to backtrack up that tube. Make a stealth check for me, please. And I'm gonna be nice, and I'm only gonna put 2 purple on this check.
Oh, thanks.
Okay.
We did it.
A success with no modifiers. So you start to creep back up the tube. I'm assuming facing downwards?
Yes.
Okay. So you're scooting your butt out of this trench like a cat who went down the wrong hill. And from below you just see a head appear. It is reptilian, vaguely Transdoshan. It has 6 eyes all in a line on both sides of its head. It's got massive fangs, and 2, like, humanoid, albeit aqueous, looking arms with scales on them. The only thing that, like, you're like, oh, that's vaguely Transdoshan, except for the fact that it's about 40 stories tall.
Nope.
This thing is massive. Like, that's not an exaggerated number. Like, this is Star Wars. Like, this is an absolutely huge creature. You could sail your pod into its eye easily. And it looks up and just opens its mouth, and it's like a snapping turtle's mouth. It's just teeth all the way down its throat. And then you see a light form in the back of its throat. What do you do?
Turn the pod around and book it.
You're gonna turn the pod around. Nope. You're gonna hit the you're in effectively a scooty putt, friend. You're not gonna throttle anywhere in this thing.
Well, no, but I'd rather hit at the back of the pod than the glass of the pod.
Okay, valid. So you're just like, nope. This is gonna suck. And then you see bubbles rise up all around you. Something hits the back of the pod, forms a seal in the cavern, and you just begin shooting upwards at a rate that causes even more warning indicators to come out. Can you make a roll for me? Is there a
Piloting planetary?
Yeah, that would work actually. Can you make a piloting planetary roll for me, please, once I set this up? So
Absolutely.
So I am going to give you a yellow die simply because the tunnel is straight, and the railgun is aimed down the barrel. So it's a relatively easy check. I'm also going to give you a boost because you're...
Sorry.
Not yet. Because you're
I jumped the
shielded.
gun.
However, this is your dragon. That's 1 purple. This is a dragon. That's 2
That's
purples.
2 purple.
This is a dragon. That's 3 purples. This dragon shot a fireball up your butt. That's a red. And then I'm going to put another upgrade on it with a destiny point because I'm an asshole. So go ahead and make that roll.
Alright, I'm going to do the roll now.
Okay.
Yep, that math checks out.
Yup. 2 successes and 3 threat. Okay. So, good news.
We did it, boys.
You get what you want. You make it out of the tunnel. Bad news. There's a ceiling in that cavern? And you didn't actually do anything to disturb or dissuade the dark. So, Lynn and Sho, you both get warning indicators of temperature, radiation, and pressure showing up on your things. And then you see Arcos's radar come back up. And before you can be like, oh, or not Arcos, sorry, Kuga. Before you can be like, oh, Kuga's back, you see that everything in the down direction from him is radiated and on fire, and he is approaching you far beyond the tolerances of these pods. And then the cavern starts shaking.
Looks like something found him before we did.
Guys, can you hear me?
Antha! Get out of the way!
Out comes the pod, followed by a stream of superheated plasma. You guys push your pods out of the way, and then the 3 of you have just a second to reconnoiter in the bubbling water before these 2 giant Godzilla reptilian arms grab the top of the chasm that Kuga just shot out of, and this, vaguely humanoid reptilian torso lunges out and tries to bite Kuga.
I think
we're gonna roll some
done it.
initiative.
Oh boy. Vigilance.
Vigilance. I'm gonna roll the Sea Dragon's initiative, which is how does initiative work? It's vigilance. What's vigilance based off of? Or it wouldn't be vigilance for him. It would be
Cool.
It would be cool. He's got a lot of cool.
Which is presence.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I'm just gonna roll this. Yep. Okay. 4 by 1 for him. What'd you guys get? Cool. Okay. So it's going to be Duboy and then 3 of you. Cool. If this goes more than 3 turns, Arcos, you can come in on turn 4. Because they're easy to find. So.
I'd hope so at this point.
Right?
Seems to be a trend.
Yeah, right? So this thing pops out of the trench. You see its lower half is the lower half of a squid. So it is this giant, betentacled dragon creature thing. And it's just going to try to grab one of your pods. Let's see whose pod it is. It is Sho.
Oh boy.
So you're
really what is wanted by everything in the galaxy.
You're very small, which is good for you. But it's very large and very strong. So
this thing functions on a planetary scale, not a personal.
Basically, yes. So I'm gonna give him some difficulty to try to grab you. I think 3 is good to start. Do you want to spend any points before I make this roll?
Yeah, upgrade the difficulty with a destiny point.
Okay. Cool beans. That is a good, smart plan. Okay. Here we go. 1 success and an advantage. So, yeah, so he just reaches up, big mitt, clasps it around you. You don't take any damage, but your pod is encased in the fist of this thing. And I think the advantage is simply you can't get out unless you do something.
Yep, okay.
The good news is he's very slow and lumbering because he's a kaiju. Anyone can go.
If there's no objections, I'll go.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Right ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and activate this pod's electrical defenses.
Okay. Totally. Did we establish what that roll was last time?
I don't know. Would it be gunnery?
Yeah, that's reasonable. Gunnery is fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and give you 2 blue for this. Like the actual thing itself is helping you, and I'm only gonna put a difficulty of 1 purple on this because you're surrounded. Good. You can shoot in any direction you want and hit something.
Yeah. As far as I know, it's like a pulse, isn't it?
Correct. So go
Yeah.
ahead and make your gunnery check.
Yeah. I'm trying to. Okay, I don't think aiming applies in this situation.
Yeah, no.
All right, let's go ahead and.
Yeah, 2 successes, 2 advantage. Absolutely. So there's a like blast noise. This big like globe of electrical energy arcs out from around the pod. The thing roars. You see the fire in the back of its throat. Again, it opens its hand and like bats you away. Anyone can go.
I think I want to go next, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
Because I want to try to use the limited scanners on here to try to see if there's any weak point or vulnerabilities we could exploit to at least, avoid damage, if not do something to immobilize it.
Okay. So make that computer's roll. You get a blue because this thing is really, really big. You get another blue because Sho has successfully distracted it. And I'm gonna put 3 purple on this because the scanners aren't very good. And then I'm gonna upgrade the check with a point because, again, asshole. So go ahead and make that roll. Wow. Okay, that's a lot of advantage and a despair. So you don't get what you want, but you get something very advantageous, but then it all goes wrong. So let's deal with the advantage first. What do you want? You can't get a solid scan of this thing because reasons. What do you get instead? What happens instead? Maybe you get a scan of like kyber radiation down in the trench that it came out of.
Yeah, I was just going to say there's something about the environment that I scanned that we could use to our advantage.
Yeah, you get like heat radiation, or like broadband radiation, as well as like kyber radiation from way down in the pit that it came out of. The despair, I think it distracts you. I think you're like, wait a minute, that's kyber radiation. And meanwhile, Kuga and Sho are like, Lin, fucking move! Like, so the Sea Dragon is going to get a bonus to attack you next turn.
I don't know how they expected us to take on something so huge in these things.
Kuga.
So we established that Kuga made the ability to have a little lightning cannon on this pod.
Yes, you hotwired your pod. You no longer have the Pikachu hamster ball of get away from me. You have a little taser now.
I would like to tase it in the eyeball.
All right, so you want okay. Cool. You absolutely can. Now is a good time to point out to you guys that your terrestrial weapons are better than the weapons on these pods. Hey,
Okay.
hey, Kuya.
Hey.
Can the Leviathan go underwater? Said the fox for no reason at all.
You know, I couldn't imagine why it wouldn't be able to.
I guess it can't stand the atmospheres.
Then how is it in space?
There's not a lot of pressure in space.
He meant the pressure, yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, atmospheres
enough.
are pressure. It's measured in atmospheres.
I mean, I don't suppose there would be any reason for it to need to go underwater, so...
I mean, no, there absolutely is, but did you specifically design the Leviathan to be able to go underwater?
You know, considering the paint scheme and what he's named it, it should absolutely be able to go underwater.
Cool. So Arcos, in a couple of turns, if you want to, hey Cookie, you might want to mute.
Yeah.
Arcos, in a couple turns, if you want to Millennium Falcon in here with the Leviathan, we can talk. In the meantime, you're gonna taser its eye. Okay. So that's a called shot, which is gonna up the difficulty immediately. It's not distracted, so I can't give you a boost there. I could give you a boost because it's pissed at Show. And you got a lot of points if you want to spend one.
Yeah, let's go ahead and spend one.
Cool. I will upgrade it on your side. Give myself a point back. Bada boom. Make that roll.
What is the roll I missed?
Gunnery.
Badoom.
Oof. Okay. 3 advantage and a triumph. So you absolutely get what you want. So you little lightning streaks out. You jam it in the eye. I don't have hit points for this thing. Simply because this is not a hit point fight. This is the Dragon King from Demon Souls. This is you kill it when you figure out how to kill it. However, you can take conditions and you can weaken it and all of that good stuff. So yeah, you absolutely you jam it in its eye, blast the side of its head. There's a little explosion, and then yeah, like half of its head is just covered in this like neon yellow, like fluorescent goo, and it can't see on that side. It is the Sea Dragon's turn, and it's going to shoot a fireball at Lynn. It's very good at these.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna give it a boost. I'm gonna put a red die on this because you're very small. What were you gonna say, Vader?
I just said, oh boy.
And then I'm not gonna spend any points unless you guys spend points. Do you want to spend points? Does anybody want to spend points?
Well, I don't think Lynn would spend the point because I don't know it's coming.
Well, this is beyond what your character knows. This is
Oh,
the
fair point.
force in the galaxy at play.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, in that case, I think I want to spend the point.
You want to spend a point? Alright, cool. In that case, I will also spend a point and upgrade both of these checks. So, here we go. Pachoo! 3 advantage. That could have been a lot worse.
Definitely could have been.
That was 4 yellows. That could have been a lot worse. So Fireball rips out of this thing. Kuga and Sho are like, Lynn, move! Fireball. Like, I don't get what I want. I don't get through the pod. I don't destroy the pod. I don't damage Lynn. But I think the advantage is it just fries your sensors. Like, you can move, but you have to target through the viewfinder, and all of your data is fried. You don't know how much oxygen you have. You don't know what depth you're at. You don't know what direction you're going. Like, it just melts the sensors on the outside of the pod.
Oof.
Anyone can go.
Did Lynn say something about Kyber before they got fried?
I think she would have said, hey, there's a bunch of radiation down there from the cave it came from.
Okay, I'm gonna check my own sensors then and see if I can figure that out. If you guys are okay with me taking that turn.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll give you a boost because Lynn mentioned something. Actually, I'll give you 2, because you know there's something down there. That your sensors suck in this. I'm going to put a setback die on this because you're distracted by the fireball that just came out of this thing's face. It's not the easiest thing to focus on scanning when there's nonsense happening around you.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend a destiny point to upgrade this check. Do you want to spend one?
Yeah, I'll spend one back.
Cool. Hell yeah.
The nice little back and forth.
Make that computers roll. Cool.
Oh, damn.
So yeah, I think yeah, like your sensors are just picking up the heat radiation that this thing just shot out of its mouth. Like there's too much bullshit in the water right now. You have to wait for that to bleed off. So you don't get what you want, but the increased like radio energy from your pod draws the attention of the boy.
Okay. I believe there is a vehicle thing called evasive maneuvers. Let me make sure I know what that does. Yeah, that's what are these things? These pod speed rating? Probably not very high.
Not very high. No, like what's a swoop bike speed rating? Just to have a frame of reference.
I think it's like 4 or 5.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking like 2.
Okay, evasive maneuvers can only be done with a vehicle that has 3+.
There's no way these things are 3+. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm looking over what maneuvers I can take.
I'm just saying there's a Jedi Starfighter right over there if you want to do some Star Wars bullshit.
I mean, yeah, but
Did we say all of its internals were fried, or was that just the assumption?
That was the assumption. You never went inside it.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I think Show's mind is, Starfighter has better weaponry than this crappy thing. If I can even get the fucking gun to work, that's a huge advantage.
Yeah, right?
So let's go for the Starfighter.
Okay, so you're gonna open the pod. Mind you...
Oh, no, I'm gonna... Oh, am I still close to it, or...?
Yeah, like, the pods are
Okay.
slow. Like,
All right,
you were out sweeping. Like, yeah, I think it's completely convenient that you
but
can...
I got batted away.
You got batted away from the boy.
Yeah, okay.
Like, but, I mean, okay, fine. If you wanna move the pod over to it, like, okay, that's fine. What I'm saying is, at some point, you're gonna have to get out of the pod and swim to the Starfighter.
Yeah.
And the thing is focused on you. So that'll be fun.
So for now, I'm just moving. I'm increasing this thing's speed to...
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm upping its speed to it, I guess, to 2.
Cool. Anyone can go.
I think I'll take it this time if you don't mind.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
what do you got?
So we have one eye out of commission.
Mm-hmm.
Could I get to the other side of its face?
I know this is a stupid question, but I
Mhm.
have to ask it anyway. From what direction?
You know, we're gonna say up and around the head.
Up and over?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure, you can attempt that.
Okay. I think we're gonna do that. Throw on the rebreather, open the hatch, and
Oh, no.
lightning worked. Let's see how a carbine blaster works.
Okay. So you you pull the pod around its head. And you're like lightning bolt, and it's like pulsar recharging. Please wait. Fucking machine. Fit the rebreather in. Open the hatch. Swim out to the torrent of water. Pull out the carbine. Smile, you son of a bitch. Pew. All right. Yeah. Totally. Okay, you get a boost and an upgrade on this because it is the broadside of a barn. However, it's scaly. You're gonna get 2 difficulty base. I'm gonna put 1 red on it because it's terrestrial weapon versus planetary monster.
Yep.
I'm gonna put an upgrade on it because dark side point.
I'll put an upgrade on myself because light side point.
Cool. Make that roll.
That's not good, Chief.
That is a failure. That is 2 advantage and a despair. Okay, let's do the advantage first.
I think I have a good.
Go on.
I have a good idea for this.
Go on.
I don't hit it at all, but I get its attention off of show.
Okay, you don't hit it at all. So you pull out the carbine. You're like, okay, let's try this. Click. Nothing happens. Click, click, click. It finally fires, but it goes above its eye and like its armored like scales, and you see its pupil just contract and focus on you.
I've made a terrible mistake.
And I think the despair. I think the despair is you didn't wait for the pod to pressurize. You fit the rebreather in, you pop to the top, and you jump down. And the force of that shunted the pod downward. So it's further away than you thought it was. I think that's the despair.
Shit.
Okay. Lynn?
I'm flying blind in here, guys. I lost all my electronics.
No response from Kuga, who is currently... Actually, no response from either one of you, because Lynn's about to... Show's about to get out of the pod. So
Did Show say anything about her plan?
Did Show say anything about her plan?
No.
And so, yeah, I'm flying blind here, guys. I need some help. Silence.
So let's see. I was last oriented toward the creature, so I can see the creature.
Probably. You could see, at the very least, you could see a dark shape, like, flailing in the water. But yeah, I would say, reasonably, you could even see bits of it. This is your gentle reminder that that Din killed a mudhorn with a knife. You guys got this. I have faith.
Uh-huh.
What's your play, Lynn?
Well, I actually think Lynn would have the same thought as Show, that well, my pod isn't any good, but hey, that Jedi Starfighter, maybe I can rig its computer and come up, and
Do
use
you
that
know
as
where
these-
it is? You know about it, granted, but I don't think Show gave you the telemetry of it. I think Show was just like, there's a Jedi Starfighter over there.
I thought I was doing over. I thought I went over and was covering Show as she got out to
But
explore
did
it.
we establish previously that you saw the Jedi Starfighter?
I do not remember for sure.
Okay. Like, if you can make an argument, if any of you can make an argument that you know where that Jedi Starfighter is without electronics, fair dues.
It's right over there.
Because, like,
mean-
I would argue you're not even sure which way is up right now.
Yeah, I don't think I even
Can
know
you
where
still
I
see
am.
Show's floodlights?
Mm, we established the water was murky.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be tough.
I think, yes, if you were willing to turn your attention fully away from the creature and do a sweep, you could probably see Show's floodlights. That is reasonable. I will concede that. But you would have to fully turn your attention away from the creature to do that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try to find Show because there's nothing that I can do in my current state.
Fair. Then yes, you probably see Show's pod, like, a good bit away. Like, mind you, speed of 2 is still speed of 2. Like, they're vehicles at the end of the day. So, like, out of reach of this thing's arms, maybe not its tentacles, you see Show's, like, pod floating in the water column open, and you probably see, like, Show's shadow, like, swimming down and forward.
I think I'll just point my pod toward Show's and
Cool.
and get as close as I can.
Okay. So, Show, you see more light following you. You glance back, you see another pod coming towards you. Alright. It is the Sea Dragon's turn.
Bye, Kuga.
So what I'm gonna do is, fair is fair. I'm gonna take a page from Dungeons & Dragons and see if it gets its breath weapon back. Bye, Kuga. So you are very small, so I'm gonna give him a boost. But your small will give you a somewhat of an advantage. I'm gonna put actually 2 red dice on this, just to be safe. But I am gonna upgrade mine. Do you want to upgrade the difficulty?
Yes, please.
Cool. Badum. Oh no. That is a success. So with your permission, I'm just gonna go full Star Wars trope with this.
Yeah, go for it.
You see its iris elongate and focus on you. We see it turn its head, opens its mouth. Its teeth are bigger than your pod. It like looms up. You see the light get bigger, and then it just closes its mouth around Kuga. The good news is you didn't die on screen, so we'll come back to you.
Okay.
But yeah, Kuga got. Anyone can go.
Shit. Okay.
The good news is survive one more turn and Arcos can be here.
Heavy whippets, lizard.
Okay, sorry, I'm debating whether I want to go first or not, or if I want
I think
Lynn.
you should probably go first, because Lynn doesn't know what you're doing yet.
You could also let Kuga go first.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do that. We could, but why?
It doesn't
Better if
realistically
Kuga could
matter
have
because
an
all of you
advantage.
are going before the Sea Dragon, so...
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Hacking a Jedi Starfighter seems much more interesting getting eaten by a dragon.
I will respectfully disagree, but let's see where this goes. So you want it, Show?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to waste time trying to get this thing open. It's probably rusted as hell.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think I'm just going to disrupt a rifle the canopy.
Nice. Okay. I just want you to roll just to see if your gun like functions properly. I'm just gonna put 1 purple in this roll. Just shoot. Make your guns check. Yeah, you're fine. Totally fine. So blast the stationary target, blow the lid off. Water rushes in immediately. You see a lot of things. You see 2 seats, one in front of the other, lots of various controls. You also see something slumped over the wheel.
I guess I investigate that?
Sure. It is a skeleton in robes.
Yeah.
Actually,
Wait.
it was a pressurized cabin. It wouldn't be a skeleton. It would look like a Draugr.
Yeah. Oh, okay. For now, I'm gonna... Okay, so I think this is in character. I think for now, Sho brushes the corpse aside and starts messing with the controls, seeing if she can get anything active.
We, like the audience, when you shove the corpse aside out into the water, we see something fall from it and go under the starfighter, but Sho doesn't see it.
Yeah.
So you get in the cockpit. I'm torn on whether or not you can read the controls, because this is an old starfighter.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think you could. It would just be it wouldn't be a layout you're familiar with.
The Clone Wars were only like 30 years ago.
This isn't Clone Wars though.
Oh.
Now I'm about to make Vader very happy if you can pass a difficult computer check for me,
All right.
which I'm going to upgrade.
I'll spend a point again.
Okay.
Just go back and forth.
Hey, it's fine. We get to roll more of these fun dice.
Yeah, like there's no reason not to when we're even on fate points.
Make that
or
computer
destiny points.
Make that computer check.
All right.
Okay. Yes, a success with no modifiers. That is perfect. So you hit a switch, and the console flares to life. It sputters a little bit because there's water in the internals, but though it is only operating at about 30% power, it is operational mostly. And this starfighter is equipped with 5 seismic charges.
Ooh.
Ooh.
All right.
Which are the coolest starfighter weapons in all of Star Wars. Yes.
I think that's
your turn. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my turn.
So, anyone can go.
We'll be right back.
Yep.
I think Lynn will go next.
Okay.
Go for it.
I can see the starfighter flare to life, right?
It doesn't flare to life,
Well,
but the internal
okay,
console
the
lights up.
internals.
Yes.
So I would see the lights probably from the light.
Correct. And you probably, like, your floodlights on it, you probably saw Sho throw the corpse out of the side.
Okay, so I think I'm going to get out of the pod and swim down there and see if there's anything I can do with this computer, or the starship.
There's not really room for
So-
both of you.
Even though it has 2 seats.
I mean, the co-pilot seat is like there. It has emergency controls, that is true, but not to the degree that the main pilot seat has. It's mostly for like the the hostage, so to say, the rescued hostage is it.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I think maybe if I saw Show toss the fighter, the figure aside,
the pilot, yeah.
the pilot, I might then swim down and see if the pilot, if I could see anything on the remains of the pilot.
Okay.
That might be useful. Okay.
Completely fine. This is going to be a hard check. I'm going to put 2 red on this base. Is there anything better for this than perception, or is that the investigation of this system? Do you guys think?
It looks like perception to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna upgrade this, but if you guys want to upgrade your side, you can.
Yeah, I think I want to upgrade this.
Cool. I will take your points.
I really want to help, and I have no other way to help.
Make that perception roll. It's put in. Oof. No, I don't think you find anything. You find, like, this dude, this Draugr dude is wearing, like, robes that you've never seen before. They're, like, big, billowy robes, and there's, like, nothing in them. It's so weird. He's got, like, a rebreather that's, like, rusted over and probably not safe to put in your mouth. And that's, like, it. Like, he has nothing on him. He's like a monk. It's weird.
What would someone like this be doing in such a dangerous area? Maybe it had something to do with energy readings in the cavern. And I think that prompts her to radio over to Show.
You cannot radio over to Show while you're out in the water.
Oh, not even with her helmet comms?
Mm-mm. You got a rebreather in your mouth.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
I mean, yes, you can turn your comms on, but you can't speak. Also, Show is like 4 feet to your right. Just reach out and tap her.
Yeah, I think then Lynn taps Show on the shoulder and points to the cavern.
You can't see it from here.
Well, points in the direction of the cavern.
Do you know what direction that is from where you turned without your sensors?
Good point.
Like, if you do, I'll stop arguing. Like, it's not like it's right there. Like, it's in a different direction.
Yeah, I think she pantomimes a cavern.
Okay.
All right.
And maybe, you know, whatever finger symbol they have for energy.
I think it's completely reasonable that you guys know, like, battlefield sign language that at least you all understand.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just pantomiming that there's a big energy source in the cavern.
Okay. That's gonna be your turn.
Yeah, that's all I can think of to do.
All right, Kuga.
Time to go into the belly of the beast.
So you are very lucky, sir. When it closed its mouth, you fit in its mouth with enough space that it can't crush you.
Oh, good.
You are bigger than the space that is its mouth. And it's not clear that it's noticed that. You can't get out because its teeth and lips make a barrier. But you're not currently dead. And then it swallows. So there's this tremendous current in the water around you as you get pulled down this row of teeth. Can you make... What's the equivalent of a dexterity saving throw in this?
Coordination.
Can you make a coordination check for me, please? It's not too terribly difficult. I'm only going to put 2 purples on this, but now might be a good time to spend some points.
Yeah, we're gonna upgrade.
Smart boy. Alright, go ahead and make that roll. Nice! Okay, so with that roll, there's only 1 threat, and you got 5 successes, so I think you grab one of its teeth and, like, swing both of your legs around, and you're holding onto, like, one of its throat teeth things. As the water passes over you, you're left in air, coughing, despite your rebreather, and the threat is right below you, like you're poised over the vertical drop that is this thing's throat, and right below you there is the equivalent of a blast furnace.
Well, now I'm just sad I don't have any of the thermal detonators that were on the ship.
What would you like to do?
There's a mechanic for that.
There is a mechanic for that.
You can spend a destiny point to say you grabbed it.
We do have a destiny point.
Can I do the reverse of that, Vader?
I'm not sure.
Like, for example, can I be like, here's the destiny point, you dropped your carbine, for example?
I think it's only that. All right. Hold on. I'm thinking. My words are escaping me. That seems, in my opinion, a little. No, I mean, okay, let me actually, instead of babbling, let me check the rules.
Because I feel like if you can do it, I can do it.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
That's pretty much my opinion on this. Like, if you have this cool thing and you can be like, I spent a destiny point to have a useful item, I should be able to, like, I spent a destiny point, things just got worse. Like...
Yeah.
Like, if that's not a rule, I'm inclined to make it one. Because, like, look, I'm not gonna fuck you guys.
Not yet, anyway.
I think it's fair.
Okay.
The Deus Ex Machina rules specifically mention only the players and says the GM already controls this by managing and directing the story, but that can still work, I think.
No, I disagree with that, because to keep the story going, you have to make it fair, but it also puts a bigger threat on me having fate points if I can use the fate points to be unfair, right? I can only be unfair as I have fate points.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just gonna straight up, it eats your carbine. Done.
Okay. Well, I conveniently grabbed a thermal detonator from the ship, so...
Cool.
And I think we're gonna activate it and drop it down into this blast furnace throat.
Okay. Cool. Let me set this up. You're gonna get a yellow die bonus on this.
Okay.
This is, to be clear, this is to hit it. This is not to kill the beastie. This is to successfully drop a thermal detonator into the fucking egg.
Yes.
So for that, I'm gonna do 3 purples and then upgrade, because you are in an awkward as fuck position. I'm gonna spend a destiny point to upgrade it again.
And I'll spend a destiny point to upgrade myself.
Cool. I'm gonna give you a boost because you're not trying to throw a thermal detonator underwater. I specifically said the water went down its throat. But I'm gonna give you a setback because if you get a despair, you're falling down this thing's throat.
Yep.
So go ahead and make that roll.
What is the roll?
Ranged light.
Range light.
Ranged light. Oh, thank goodness.
Okay, so you successfully throw the thermal detonator down this thing's throat. Your advantage, like, what do you want your advantage to be? I guess, like, he's gonna feel an obstruction in his throat?
I think the advantage would be that fireball or blast isn't as effective as it used to be.
Well, no, you got a success. We're not talking about the fire. The thermal,
advantage.
The thermal detonator has not gone off yet.
Okay.
This was just the throw.
What is the advantage then? I'm not sure.
I recommend that you give yourself an advantage because this is about to get bad for you.
Yeah.
You can add a boost to your next check.
Yeah, we're gonna add a boost to my next check.
Cool. So, Arcos, go ahead and roll initiative, please, and I'll put you on the board.
We did it. We survived 3 rounds.
Vigilance?
No. Cool. You're expecting nonsense. You know something is wrong. You just don't know what it is. I think that's cool. Okay. So 1 and 1. Why didn't that put you on the board like it did for the others?
Did you just roll the cool skill, or did you roll it within it as the initiative under the combat tab?
Well, that's right. It's a different one. Okay.
Yeah, do that again, please. Nice, even better. Okay, so the Sea Dragon is still going to go first, but that's still a good initiative for you guys. Hello, Sergio. Would you like to come up here? So we stay with Arcos clinging to this thing's like throat spike. As the thermal detonator descends, we see the little circular indicator like fully fill up. Then there's a big fireball goes off in this blast furnace. Oh, it's Kudu, not Doja. Hello, Kudu. And all that energy is going to overload this thing's fireball organ thing. And all that energy has to go somewhere. Like out this thing's mouth.
Well, it's been fun being your guys' pilot.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let you take like half a turn that you shouldn't be able to take here, Kuga. And if you have anything you can do to keep from just getting fucking vaporized, you might want to take care of that.
Let's see. You know,
Like,
there's not much I can do in this situation except braced for impact.
I mean, look, if you brace for impact, you're dead. You're dead. You got to give me something. Even if it's bullshit, like Lucasian nonsense, give me something. Climb into its nose, hide under its tongue, jump down its throat past the fire. Give me something.
You gave me 2 options that I was just thinking about. I think we're gonna go with the one that Kuga would go with.
Okay.
We're gonna jump down the throat to avoid the blast.
Oh, fuck's sake. Okay. So, let's be clear of the stakes here. This will be a coordination check that will not be terribly difficult prior to dark side points.
Yep.
However, there are so many failure states. And the worst failure state, like if you get 2 despairs or more, is you are a vapor trail, sir. So, what is your coordination currently? I don't normally ask this. It's not normally relevant, but I want to give you the best chance possible to survive this.
My coordination currently is 3 with a proficiency.
Okay. So, I'm just going to go through the variables and add the dice, because I feel like that's the best way to utilize this system.
Yep.
You are hanging on a slippery spike over a vertical drop. Frankly, I think that is a boost in your favor.
Mm-hmm.
There are spikes all around you, which I think is difficulty 1.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of this is the blast furnace, which I think is a red.
Yep.
Beneath you are more spikes, which is another purple. And theoretically, falling damage and or stomach acid. Because that is an unknown, I'm going to put 1 black on this.
Mm-hmm.
You are a Mandalorian. That is a green.
Yep.
You do shit like this on the regular, I'm going to upgrade that green to a yellow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to spend a dark side point and upgrade one of my purples to a red.
I'm gonna spend a point and upgrade one of mine.
Okay. Cool, back and forth we go. Ride that train. I'm going to spend another destiny point, and I'm going to say, you're not getting out of this unscathed. No matter what happens, you are losing something. This is going to equate to 2 threat. Regardless of what you roll, I am buying 2 threat, which is not technically a mechanic, but the situation, I think, warrants it.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and roll. I wish you the best, friend.
Oh, Nuff'll save me.
That is a failure and a despair. The good news is you don't fall into the blast furnace.
That's good.
Because we established that that would be more than 1 despair. However, if ever there was a roll on the injury table, it is that. So we're going to roll on the injury table. And I'm going to put a modifier of 30 on this.
Okay.
96. Better, what's 96?
That is crippled.
It's crippled. Okay.
Same thing that happened to Arcos.
So, you throw the thermal detonator, you see it expand outward, you hear water rush in above your head as this thing opens its mouth to fire off the jet. You're like, oh shit! Dive down the throat, the light gets brighter, we don't see Kuga anymore, we cut to the outside, this thing just shoots a Godzilla beam across the ceiling of the thing, of the cavern, and roars. Flatly, you are going to need to be rescued.
Really?
I'm taking you out of initiative.
That's fine.
Sorry, friend.
I mean, I got myself into the situation, so it's only fair.
However, at the same time, those, like, the other two, you hear a presence, you hear your comms click on, as the Leviathan busts into the cavern through the through the shipway, and yeah, Arcos, you are confronted face to face with Godzilla. Anyone can go.
Okay. Does Arcos want to go first, or?
Arcos, you want to blast this thing with a ship cannon?
I guess. I wouldn't genuinely know what to do, so I guess that.
Okay. Make a gunnery check. Let me reset the dice pool really quick. This is just going to be 3 purple because it is kind of armored. I'm not going to upgrade it because I already took out one of you fools. If you want to upgrade it, feel free. Otherwise, roll a gunnery. Or, actually, what is your gunnery?
Not bad.
Like, what is it? How many greens, how many yellows?
2 yellows, 1 green.
2. Ooh, that's a good gunnery. Okay. So I will go ahead and roll that simply because I think the gun has specific things on it as well. Is that right?
There's like range light, ranged heavy, and then gunnery, which is for like
Right.
any
No.
kind of
What I mean is, I believe the gun on the ship has a modifier, but I don't know.
Oh, I have no idea.
Well, Cookie would know.
It's just a gunnery check.
Oh, okay. Then never mind. Go ahead and let me get rid of that. Go ahead and roll your gunnery skill. Nice. 2 successes, 2 threat. Okay. So the threat is you get Godzilla's attention. The successes are you blast the fuck out of this thing. You come swarming in. The heroic Mandalorian music plays. You blast this thing, big lasers through the murky water. Blast this thing with weapons designed to kill something this big. Good hit. Good job.
Bang bang.
Bang bang indeed. I think with that hit, it like staggers, but well, it doesn't stagger, it's not walking, it's treading water on tendrils, but it like staggers back a bit and turns to face you. You see like half of its head is like smeared with this fluorescent yellow ichor. Anyone can go.
Okay. I don't think Sho or Lin know about what's happening with Kuga,
No.
do we?
Kuga knows what's happening with Kuga.
Kuga knows what's happening with Kuga.
Okay, in that case... So, what do these seismic charges do? Because I don't know if I'm familiar.
They shoot out, they explode outward, and then implode back on themselves.
Ooh, fun.
They make a hell of a vibration. They rip holes in Star Destroyers.
And this is
Old Republic
built in-
tech.
Yeah, this is built into the ship.
Yep.
Isn't it? Alright.
Seismic charges are from Starfighter, I think. Literally, like, from the game Starfighter.
Well, aren't they what were used in the asteroid field when?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright. So let's give one of these things a test fire, shall we?
Okay.
Well, not so much a test fire. Let's fire on the thing.
Okay, so the issue is the Starfighter can't move.
Yeah.
These things have a hell of a narrative effect. If you want to just shoot it, you will probably hit this thing. But if you want a direct hit, you're going to need to move the boy.
Okay. I assume like this thing's are actually that's a question I should ask. Is this thing have any operational like repulsor lifts or anything like that?
No.
No.
It's embedded in, like, the rock has grown up around it. Like, it's encased in stone.
So I'd have to sorry, words are failing me. This doesn't like fire out of like the main cannon or anything, does it?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Like, the gun is free, but there's like rock over top of this thing, and you can't like fly it out. You have to like break the rock part, and even then, I don't think the engines work.
Yeah, the gun doesn't swivel at all, does it?
This gun does not.
Yeah.
Like, it has a gun that swivels. The seismic charge launcher does not. It fires up front.
In that case, I think the plan is to direct this thing into the line of fire.
Right. How do you do that?
Well, I was going to say, point of order, wouldn't it make more sense for the seismic charges to be fired off the back? Otherwise, the starfighter would be flying into their seismic charge.
No, because these are extremely long-range weapons.
Okay. Fair point.
Yeah, no, these things, like, this isn't like strafe a Star Destroyer and drop a bomb out of the bay doors. This is like, there's a Star Destroyer over there. Like, it's a sniper thing, not a shotgun thing.
Gotcha.
Alright.
They probably have, like, a minimum firing distance to spool up. Which, don't worry about that. Like, it'll be far enough. Like,
okay.
if the targeting computer worked on this thing, which it doesn't, but if it did, you could smart fire these things.
Yeah.
But the targeting computer is busted, the R4 unit is busted, you're out of luck.
Uh-huh. I think, then show signs to Lynn that we need to get this thing into the line of fire.
Okay. I mean, you guys can see the Leviathan. Like, the Leviathan is in here, and he's pissed it off. That's gotta be either Brooke or Arcos.
Yeah. So, okay. I think Show's going to stay with the Starfighter and sign to Lynn to, get into touch with Arcos and get them to draw this thing into the proper spot.
Totally. Okay.
So I'm gonna man the controls.
If you want to spend your turn prepping the thing, I'll give you a boost.
Yeah.
Okay. Lynn?
Okay, Lynn is going to swim over to Show's pod, because it still has its scanners intact, so I can, or it's all its telemetry intact.
That's smart, actually.
So she's gonna get in and close the pod, let it pressurize, and then hail the ship.
Okay, so Arcos, you're in the main gun of the Leviathan, or not the main gun. You're in the pilot seat of the Leviathan, like trying to auto target the big creature. Luckily, it's huge, so you don't have to worry about targeting it too much. And then you get like a ping on your radio.
This is Lynn to the Leviathan. Come in.
Leviathan pickup service. Can I help you?
Oh, you're just in time, Arcos. We don't know what happened to Kuga, but I think Show has a plan. You need to draw that thing to these coordinates. So it's in line of fire of an ancient weapon we found.
And there's like this brief pause as he's trying to think of something to say. You know how hard it was to get this here.
Valid. Very valid.
I'll try.
I know, rush hour traffic.
I'm curious, Arcos, what goes through your mind when Lynn, of all people, goes, "We found an ancient weapon, we're gonna use it to kill fucking Godzilla"? Like, what goes through your mind?
How long was I asleep in that pod?
Perfect. Okay. So, Arcos, you will be able to do that, but first the sea dragon is going to try to kill you.
If you chip my paint job, so help me.
You can drag your corpse in here and get it and fix it yourself if you want.
So, according to Dungeons and Dragons, it doesn't get its breath weapon back. However, you just put a thermal detonator in its throat. So, I'm gonna roll that again.
That's the nicest thing I could do to it.
Cool. Okay, it does not technically get its breath weapon back, so it's gonna try to grab the ship in its big meaty claws and try to throw you around like the ragdoll that you are. So basically, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna buy an upgrade on this check. Does the Leviathan have like a base armor that I need to add to the difficulty?
Yes, 4.
That's 4 purple or 4 black.
Wait, it has 4 armor?
Yeah.
Does it have 4 armor if you're not the one piloting it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just the base ship stat.
What is that? How does that modify?
Armor adds setback, black dice.
Wow. Okay.
This was an expensive ship.
This is an expensive ship. Okay. Anybody want to upgrade their side anymore? Last call.
You sure you don't want to spend a destiny point to add difficulty to that, Arcos?
Probably just so that.
Or to upgrade the difficulty, rather.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Here we go. A success and 2 threat. Okay. So, I get what I want, but at a cost. So this thing brings its 2 big, like, Goliath humanoid claws up, grabs the Leviathan in both hands, brings it up to its face, opens its giant maw. You see the light start to form. It can't blast you with a fireball this turn, because I didn't get it, but he's prepping for it. But I think the threat is he can't see you with his mouth open because he moved his eyes away. So if you want to do some stunting, you have a boost. You have a straight up upgrade to get out of this. That's the threat.
Do a flip.
So anyone can go.
Try spinning. I hear that's a neat trick.
It is a neat trick. You want to go first then?
Yeah, try and pull itself free to get it towards where the coordinates were.
Okay. Do you want to just try to pull itself free, or do you want to like shoot down its throat? Do you want to like activate the shock field that I didn't know you had? Do you want to do anything fancy?
Please don't shoot down the throat.
I'm gonna aim exactly for this exhaust port shaped throat it has. Don't worry, I
Fancy
believe
meeting you here, Kuga.
I believe in things. It's fun. I can curve torpedoes. It's cool.
You know what else can curve a torpedo? A fucking targeting computer, Luke.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't be cool. It would just be expected.
Let me make this war-ending shot more difficult because an old man took me to his cabin and taught me things. Like, anyway.
Hey man, Luke Skywalker just wanted that trick shot, and by golly did he nail it.
He could have done it with the targeting computer.
But it wouldn't have been as cool.
It wasn't
How
Many
cool.
people failed
It was
targeting
stupid.
computer.
Look, to be fair, FaZe Clan was never going to take him in. I don't know why he was trying to hot dog his way into that.
Oh, right. So anyway, what do you?
I would absolutely imagine this thing has some kind of like defense if something's like grappled onto it or grabbing onto it physically to like shove it away.
Kuga's the one who made the ship. Kuga,
You could quite literally just ram this thing.
you could just ram the ship down its throat. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, gonna be honest. Didn't expect us to be fighting Godzilla in a river.
I mean, you're the one who didn't immediately taser the crystals.
Listen.
You were like, let me just back out of here. I gave you the perfect shot, and you were just like, let me just back away and bring the dragon into the position where we suck. Like...
Well, yeah, I gotta make this shit interesting.
Yeah, I wanted to turn the cavern into a giant laser cannon, but we both got out of our
Giant laser cannon. Giant laser cannon. I believe you mean the Death Star is what you would have turned that into.
Yeah, and that was pretty effective.
Valid. Alderaan chunks everywhere. Anyway, Arcos, what are you doing?
Probably, let's see. You know, probably try to use the ship to like ram it to nudge it towards where it needs to, in the
So
direction
you're going to try to lodge the Leviathan in its throat and hope that it backs away from you like a scared bird. Okay, I'm into it actually. Okay.
Most things when something flies directly into its throat on purpose immediately panic trying to get it out.
You're right. You are very right. How big is the Leviathan? Before we I just want to make sure that you're big enough to obstruct it.
It's like a silhouette 4, right?
Okay. Then yes, that is probably enough to make this thing be like
Especially after I tried to grab it, this thing's like, oh really? We'll see about that.
By the way, it is storming outside, so I might lose power. Fair warning. I'll be back as soon as I can, but it might be next week. So there's that. Anyway, okay, so it's gonna be a piloting check. Is that modified by the ship at all?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Haha, y'all chose the wrong person to pilot this ship.
Well, I'm gonna give you a yellow die and an upgrade because this is some Star Wars horseshit, is what this is. However, I'm going to spend 2 dark side points, and one of them is going to be to upgrade the difficulty of this check, and the other one is going to be that you're not getting out of this unscathed. Either something is going to happen to Kuga, or something is going to happen to this ship, and that's going to equate to 2 threat.
Something happens to Cougar, something happens to the ship. Either way, I'm fucked.
Yeah, to whatever roll you get, there will be 2 threat added to it. So go and unless anybody else wants to upgrade some stuff.
Yeah,
go ahead and make that roll.
Somebody else who knows more about this than I do.
I mean, you could spend a light side point. You have a bunch now, and upgrade your check to make it easier.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay.
You're battering, ramming the ship down the throat. I think Arcos is the perfect person to pilot the ship in that situation.
I mean, that is valid, but also, he's not going down its throat. He's, like, gonna get it stuck in the back of its jaws, which, like, it feels really gross and freaks out. So yeah, go ahead and make that piloting roll. This is gonna be hilarious.
Listen, here's where we're at.
You only need 1 success splat for this to work. It doesn't matter what you get beyond that. If you get 1 success splat, you're in.
This is probably still planetary piloting.
That's...
Okay.
Yeah, planetary piloting.
I have the same thing in each of them, so
Cool.
let's see.
We did it!
Oh, baby!
We did it!
Oh, the triumph and despair make fuck cancel out.
What?
But what'd
What'd you say?
The Triumph and Despair cancel out.
I'm gonna say no.
No? Okay.
Like, if they did, they wouldn't appear on that thing because it auto cancels.
That's true.
So that's 3 successes, 1 advantage, 1 triumph, and 1 despair. So you just get all the results, Jogat. So
Everything is mine.
So 3 successes, you absolutely like thrust her out of its hands, jam the ship in his mouth. This thing's like, oh shit, like pulls away from you. The advantage will set that up for show. Show you'll have another boost on your roll. The triumph is I think I don't know.
Just completely stunned from what happened. Like this thing
Okay,
just flew into its mouth and knocked it away.
Sure.
Well, of course, the despair would be that it probably chewed up a lot of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the ship
outside.
took some major damage. Excuse me. Is there a critical injury roll for vehicles?
There is.
Let's roll that because this thing got bitten effectively. So I'm gonna put plus 15 on this. 26.
That is losing power to shields. Decrease defense in affected defense zone by 1 until the critical hit is repaired.
Okay.
So the front has 1 point less of defense.
Yes. So yeah. So, like, I think with that triumph, I think Show, you see this. You see like Lynn swim over to your pod, you hear the radio conversation, and then you see the Leviathan fire its thrusters. The big reptile grabs it in both hands, opens its mouth, getting ready to just incinerate it. Arcos fires the thrusters, jams the Leviathan into its mouth. There's this terrible wrench of metal as it closes its mouth around the ship and pulls away, taking a chunk of it with it. But it staggers over right into the line of fire for your thingus, and then just like lays there dazed for a second. I would say anyone can go, but I'm fairly sure that Lynn's got that Show's got a one-liner prepared. So I promised you 2 boosts and an upgrade.
Yeah.
This is a Jedi Starfighter seismic charge. This is a ship killer weapon. So I'm gonna give you another yellow for free. I'm going to give you another boost because it's completely stunned. This thing's got pretty decent armor though, and the water is murky, so that's gonna be 4 purple. And I'm gonna spend an upgrade or spend a destiny point to make that a red. Go ahead and... Sorry?
I'll spend a destiny point as well.
Wow, okay. Big money roll. I will say this. You only need a success to fuck this thing up. However, every threat or above will cause problems for Kuga.
Yeah.
Make your
hello,
shot.
I'm the problem child.
Alright.
78 success.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
That's not a hit, though.
That is not a hit, but that is a shitload of advantage. So what's your one-liner, Show?
God, you put me on the spot here.
Yes, I did.
Oh, God. I don't have something prepared. Shit.
I need some new boots. Might not be the best thing to say with a Transdoshan right there, but you know. You're in the wrong movie?
Oh no.
How about
I'm sorry.
how about hungry? Chew on this.
Yeah, I mean, chew on this is pretty fucking good.
Okay, it's like chew on this. Fire the missile out the front of the wrecked Jedi Starfighter. It goes streaking off into the water, and you miscalculated the X variable in the shot, so it just flies past this thing and hits the far wall of the cavern. And I think with 7 fucking advantage, you make a new trade route. This thing, like, it hits the far wall of the cavern, and there's no more cavern. Like, all that rock that you sailed through is just gone. You guys watch this expanding blue sphere go outwards, vaporizing stone as it goes, and then it comes back inward with a tremendous crash, ripples out in every direction, and just there's now open river over there.
I was gonna hope with 7 advantage that would help Kuga somehow, but
I mean, you didn't hit him with the seismic charge. That helps Kuga a lot.
It helps me more than anything right now.
Well, I was hoping maybe some of the rocks would fall and paralyze the...
It's already paralyzed, though.
But impede the creature. Yeah, briefly. I was thinking something a bit more permanent, but...
I mean, if anything, that failure, now it can escape into open water.
yeah.
Like, before it was trapped in this cavern. It's not trapped in the cavern anymore. That was a hell of a roll. Like, I'm sorry. Like, circling back, like... I have never seen a roll... I don't think I've ever seen a result that ridiculous in Genesis. A failure and 7 advantage. But yeah, if you want to help Kuga with that, like, what do you have in mind? Let's talk. The wall's still gone, that's the failure, but let's talk about the advantage.
I was hoping maybe the shockwave would knock Kuga out of its mouth.
It's not in... Kuga's not in his mouth.
I'm in his throat, dude.
No, you're not. You're in his chest.
I'm in him.
Then I don't know.
I mean, you can... If Lynn wants to do some Star Wars bullshit on the last PC move of this turn, jokes aside, you can give Lynn 7 boosts.
Yeah. Yeah, let's fucking go ahead and do that.
Okay, Lynn, I recommend that you use these 7 boosts wisely. And by that I mean do something Mad Maxian. You have 7 blue dice on whatever the fuck you want to do on this turn. What do you want to do?
Unfortunately, I'm not in the faster pod.
What?
I'm in the Lynn's pod Lynn had modified it to be faster.
Oh yeah, that's not saying very much though.
But yeah, I'm in. Right. Let's see. Unfortunately, we still don't technically know that Kuga. We don't know where Kuga is.
No. Like, if ever there was a time for, like... Fuck it, this is a stupid plan, but let's fucking try it. Like, do something big and bombastic, because you have 7 blue dice. Like, if ever there was a time to be like, you know that seismic charge you just shot? I'm gonna hack it while it's in motion, and I'm gonna turn it around so that it just looks like it blew up the thing, but actually, it blew up the backside of the monster. Like, if ever there was a time for that shit, it's now.
Yeah, the surgery on a torpedo.
Sorry?
Yeah, just have somebody send a message to the ship to fire the big one while it's distracted.
Yeah, right? Or like you slice into the Jedi Starfighter and fire another torpedo.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there we go.
You're just like, I have a working targeting computer. It's strapped to my wrist. Let me do it, because I have a feeling the firewall is dead on this thing.
There's a possibility.
Yeah, I think since obviously it missed.
Somewhere in the distance, you hear Eddie Murphy. How could you miss? It was 3 feet from you.
Or even better, it misses.
Yeah.
You get so mad you hit the console, like out of frustration,
Yes!
and fire the second one right out.
Like, what do you do, Lynn? Come on.
Yeah, Lynn is gonna pop out and swim down to the Jedi Starfighter and kind of nudge Show out of the way and go see if they can recalibrate the targeting.
Like, literally
computer.
pull a cable out of your, like, wrist-mounted thing, plug it into the Starfighter, and just start hitting buttons like a cyber deck. I'm into it. Okay. And the intention is fire another seismic charge.
Yeah, we're going to link. Actually, well, I'm trying to think if that's is there a way to connect the telemetry from the Leviathan sensors to my suit?
Homie, you have
Just
7
like the-
advantage. You can do
yeah.
whatever the fuck you want. Like,
So yeah, I'm going to tap into the Leviathan sensors.
okay, I'm
and
gonna take 2 boosts from you. But
And
you
I'm gonna
just
use-
do it. Da-dum.
Yeah, and then use that data to target like as close as I can get to smart firing this thing
Okay.
at the creature.
Do you want to
the
spend a
Leviathan's
point?
right in front of? Yes.
Okay, I will upgrade your check. Go ahead and roll computers. What in the hell? Okay, so that's 4 successes and an advantage, but a despair. I think the despair is you don't know Kuga's in there, right? Like, I think that's the despair.
Yeah, that's a
Like-
despair.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah, you do it. you do it. 4 successes and advantage. Let's talk about the advantage first, because the 4 successes is just Godzilla go bye bye. What's the advantage? What advantage do you want?
I think the advantage would be
Like, if you want to use that advantage and 1 destiny point, if you want to do that, the advantage can be Kuga doesn't die.
Yes, I was going to say use the advantage to give Kuga a way to escape before.
There is no Kuga a way to escape. This is Kuga survives the hit.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, so yeah, so you like nudge Show aside, pull out the cable from your wrist communicator, jam it into the thing, slice into the Leviathan, use its targeting computer, smart fire another seismic charge, goes out into the water, streaks around, does a little like spiral in the water, nails this thing in the side, expands outward, literally just takes the body of this thing and just evaporates it as it expands outwards. The Leviathan manages just to pull away. Kuga, unconscious, manages to float out through the field because midichlorians. And then the thing comes back together. And there's just bubbles, which knocks Kuga away, knocks him out, knocks him away. And then when the bubbles finish, there's no wall in the back of this cavern, and there's just a corpse laying on the side of this canyon. You guys killed a sea dragon. Good job.
We killed a sea dragon and nobody got hurt.
Goes like seeing Kuga, like she's immediately like hopping back into her pod and getting over to him.
The only person who could see Kuga is Arcos.
Oh shit.
I need to be clear. You were about 100 meters away in murky water when you blasted this thing.
Yeah.
At least there weren't any stipulations on this contract for no collateral damage.
You're right. I mean,
Really
technically, you didn't do any collateral damage. You opened the shipping lane.
Yeah, if anything, we helped them. We gave them access to more trade routes and got rid of their monster problem. That's 2 for the price of 1.
And we didn't blow up the crystals.
I was gonna say, if you tell them about the crystals. So Arcos, you see, like something in the detritus has a life sign.
And he'll start just that slow movement because he knows that, he doesn't want to hit anything if it's one of them that happened to make it there, since he came in during the middle of all this chaos.
Yeah. So yeah, you just see like Arcos unconscious, or not Arcos, Kuga unconscious, like laying amid the sand in the bottom of this river.
Hey, don't worry, guys. I still have my rebreather, so I'm not drowning.
Correct.
All Arcus does is before he goes to radio what happened to them on the comms, he looks back to the road and goes, "Please prep the Bacta tank again."
Brooke's not here. Brooke did
like,
not.
"What?"
Brooke did not join you in this bullshit. You left her at the diner.
Bullshit.
She's enjoying a nice lunch right now.
Yes, like you were like, okay, I'm gonna go help them, but I'm taking the Leviathan. Brooke was like, and that's my cue to get off the ship. Like,
And he'll tell them where he sees the life sign, get up and go, "I'll prep the tank."
there you go. And then, then we crossfade to the 3 Mandalorians in the Leviathan. Kuga's in the Bacta tank. We see now, because Kuga's not wearing very much in the Bacta tank, beside the rebreather to keep him alive. Like, Kuga is like scarred up. Like, would it be fair to say he looks disabled, dismembered?
I think it would be fair to say.
There's a disabled purple Twi'lek floating in this Bacta tank, and then the 3 of you just like taking stock of the situation. I'm assuming Sho is bitching.
About what exactly?
Just in general. Giant fucking dragon, cavern full of radiation, send us in a cave with no way out, fucking Moncala, just angry. I'm assuming, I could be wrong.
I mean, they handled it, though.
True, they did.
Why didn't Kuga say shit about anything?
Yeah, that's also a good
it's
one.
like, was he in that thing? Why didn't he? Also, just idea I had. That thing had 1 seismic charge left.
No,
said 3,
it had
right?
it had 5.
Oh,
Yeah, it's got 3 left.
yeah. I wanted to nab those if I could.
Oh, how precisely?
I don't know.
Very carefully.
Like, you would have to cut into the stone and the hole, and then transport seismic chargers that have not been serviced since the Old Republic.
That's
Sounds
fair.
like you'd have to pay a reclamation team to do, and
I
that's
will
cost a bit.
gladly let you make the attempt, but you have seen the type of firepower seismic chargers do if you fuck it up.
Yeah.
I mean, we do have time to take our time while our friend recuperates.
Valid.
And you can also use the Leviathan to get this Jedi Starfighter out of this.
Oh yeah, it could
once cavern.
nudge, try to loosen the rocks enough for it to get out.
True. Like,
Yeah.
you guys are not in...
We could salvage this thing for parts, honestly.
Yes.
Yeah, that too.
I almost said, you guys are not in danger right now. I remind you, there's always a bigger fish.
Yeah.
Roll credits.
And we are in something of a time crunch, because didn't someone say that there's another group looking for the...
There's
Our
several.
main
It
goal.
was a bounty.
No, not this. The main quest.
Oh.
I could be
No,
misremembering,
he
but
said
I
nobody. He said nobody knows it. Like you're talking about the Toydarian, Jarul. Jarul
Yes.
says nobody knows about it except the Imperials, which you killed, and him, which you killed. Whether or not that information is accurate, you never verified.
Yeah, geez, who knows what would have happened? I guess we'll never find out.
If only you guys didn't blow up a casino.
Anyways, yeah, I want to.
Go ahead, Vader.
I want to. Getting this starfighter out of the rock and like towing it out of the water with the Leviathan seems like the plan.
Okay. So I'm gonna bring your obligation into play here, Vader.
Okay.
How do you go about extracting the starfighter from the stone around it?
Oh, probably we're going to need some tools.
Such as?
Uh,
There's a laser cannon on the ship.
yeah. I was thinking something a little bit more personal touch.
I agree. Do you have anything like that?
We have like
Thermal detonators.
What do I have personally in my inventory?
I assume Kuga's inventory is up for grabs as well, since you had to get it off of him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let it be known that in Kuga's inventory there is a mechanic's toolkit.
Yeah. Like, with, like, cutting tools, like, blowtorch.
That's gonna take hours, if not days. Which, I mean, that's fine. Like, you guys have air, you have food, you have water, like, you can do that.
Just set up some frag grenades at key points. It's fine.
That's also an option.
Yeah.
That, or find a way to jury rig the pods to do something to help loosen the ship.
That's also a solution, yeah.
Uh-huh.
You have to commit to a plan.
Honestly, small explosives might be the way to go.
Okay.
Like frag grenades.
Okay.
Thermal detonators might be a little too strong.
Well, Arcos will offer all 6 of his frag grenades.
I mean, honestly, one would probably be enough.
I mean,
Well, just in case they need more, but he'll be like, I want the rest back.
let me give you a good idea, homies. If you need thermal detonators, the ship may or may not have a grand total of 19 in the cargo hold. So,
But no, thermal detonators are overkill.
Okay. So you want to, like, swim out, strategically place a frag grenade, detonate it. Is Show the one to do... Okay, no. Normally I would be like, is Show the one to do this? Straight up, Show's the one to do this, because I need Show on point for what's about to happen. So you blow it up, and you realize that under the Old Republic symbol on the wing of the Starfighter is the sigil of your house.
Oh. Wow, okay.
Cue mysterious music.
Yep. Hey, we rolled Show's obligation. Have to.
Alright. That's... Oh god. Jedi affiliated with Show's house.
Yep.
Yeah, that's... Alright, like, now I think she's going to do a more thorough search of this thing before getting the tow line.
Okay. In what way?
Probably search the body of the dude inside.
Well, the dude's not inside. You pushed him out into the water.
Then, yeah, just search him.
He's already been searched. Like, I'm not saying don't search him. I'm saying you start like rummaging through his robes. Somebody's been through here, probably Lynn. He doesn't
Okay,
have
so-
anything on him. And let me reiterate that. He doesn't have anything on him.
Yeah, that's knowing what Chode knows. That's passing strange. All right. So before, I assume like she piloted one of the pods out here.
Assumingly, yeah.
Yeah. So she'll hop in the pod first, get on the comms, and contact Lynn, saying, "Lynn, did that body have anything on him?"
Nothing at all, just those tattered robes.
That doesn't make any. He's too well preserved to have nothing on him. And saying
Well,
that she
you found the body.
You did find a rusty rebreather, Lynn.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there was the rusty rebreather, but
Oh.
it's ancient, unusable.
No, that's should have been something else. With that, Sho's gonna pilot the pod so that the floodlights give her a better view of the area around the body and search again.
Okay. Can I spend more than one dark side point? Is your question?
For upgrading checks, I don't think so.
Okay. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be 3 purple and a red, and then I'm going to upgrade it to 2 red.
Okay. I'll spend a destiny point as well to upgrade.
Okay. I'm going to give you a boost. I think it's fair that you have a boost because you believe that there should be something, like by all historical accounts, there should be some more stuff. But this is still going to be a rough check.
I'm not good, and I do not have great perception, but we'll see what happens.
Make that roll. Wow, okay. 2 successes and 3 threat. So you get what you want, and I assume you're looking for the laser sword.
Yeah.
I thought so. 3 threat. I'm really trying to think, because even if I'm just like, it's busted, you can fix it. Like, that's a thing. It's not that I don't want to give you a lightsaber. I mean, I don't. To be clear, I don't. But
I know.
My trepidation is not, I don't want you to have a lightsaber. My trepidation is, this is a big deal, and there's 3 threat there.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of how... Like, it can't be a failure. You find it, but it has to be... Okay. I cannot believe that I am asking this at the table. But if there's anybody that I'm going to ask this, it's you. And I want you to think very hard before you answer.
Uh-huh.
Bear in mind, this will be the threat coming into play. Is Sho force sensitive?
I have actually thought about this before. And honestly, I'm not sure about the answer.
Okay. Then, frankly, there's a mechanic for this. And, I mean, not in the game itself, but if ever there was a time, roll Destiny. No. I'm going to say that's a no.
Yeah.
Okay. So, that will not be the threat that comes into play then. I don't know... I don't know how to spend that 3 threat. I don't. There's not an immediate, like, threat in this area, and I don't want to be that GM that banks them for later.
It could just be strain.
You're about to rest, though.
It could be a Lady or the Tiger scenario where it's
What?
the lightsaber fell in just a way that if they move the ship, you won't be able to get to the lightsaber anymore. But if you get the lightsaber, you can't move the ship.
That is an interesting idea. I will use that. Thank you, Squeaky. Looking beneath the ship, you see obviously the hilt of a lightsaber. But it is wedged under the ship in a way that if the rocks that you blew away were keeping the ship off of the lightsaber. And if you move the ship to get it out of the rest of the rocks, it'll crush the saber. But if you try to reach for the lightsaber, you'll toggle it on, and it'll send the blade up into the bomb bay of the ship. If it works.
Ooh.
Thank you, Squeaky.
Welcome.
So, you have a choice to make. The nav computer of the ship, or the lightsaber?
No, the ship's more important. So no, she's gonna leave it. She's gonna get
Is
the
it, though?
token.
You and I both know the way the lightsaber carries.
Yeah.
Is the ship more important? Like, yeah, the ship's important. I won't dispute that. But can you honestly say the ship is more important than the lightsaber?
If the computers on this thing hold any sort of history related to her clan, that's more important than the weapon of a Jedi.
Okay.
So now she's gonna get the tow cable and get the ship.
Okay. Mm. Do you tell the others about the Mandalorian markings? Do you rub them off if you don't?
She tells them.
Okay. So let's have that scene. You, like, attach the tow cable, swim back into the pod, open up the comms. And I think, like, Lynn, you're probably monitoring comms, right? That's probably your thing?
Yeah.
Like, that took longer than it should have.
Is everything all right down there?
Yeah, it's just the ship has Mandalorian markings. The markings of my clan.
Wait, your clan? On an ancient starfighter?
We need to get into this thing's computers, Lynn.
Well, I can certainly try, but if you want any sort of information, that's a magnitude more difficult than just trying to shoot a torpedo out of the bay.
I get it. But it's important, all right?
I just realized that none of you know... Oh, no, Lynn knows. Never mind. I was going to say, none of you know there's, like, millions of Kyber below your feet, but Lynn does. Never mind.
I know.
You are currently in a back tank.
Listen,
that hurt.
I could communicate through the Force.
Are you Force sensitive, motherfucker?
Bitch! Probably not.
Exactly. The only force sensitive there is the Transdosion.
I was gonna say, if anybody's Force sensitive, it's Arcos.
No, we all know that Brooke is the Force sensitive.
I mean, yes, but I meant of the PCs.
Fair enough.
Of course Brooke is Force sensitive. That's why she stayed in the diner. Okay, like, she showed up, like, you guys are gonna leave on a grand adventure. She said, you need my help. Oh, fucking course she's Force sensitive. Come on!
Alright. Anyways, yeah.
This sounds like a conversation we need to have on the ship.
Yeah. Show makes her way back to the Leviathan.
Okay. The 2 of the pods can probably fit in the Bay of the Leviathan, so somebody's gonna have to pilot the third. Never mind, the third one's... No, the third one's still there.
It's just fried.
Yeah. So somebody's not gonna be in the ship piloting the pod. And I'm very sorry, but I love the idea of the giant Trandoshan squeezing into the pod with his knees all the way up.
I was gonna say he's the only one who hasn't done it yet, so I'll let him.
God, that would be so funny. So, do we want to diagonal wipe to everybody, including Kuga, like getting paid for the bounty?
I think so, yeah.
Is there anything else you guys want to do in this cavern?
No,
I think
okay.
We can discuss
Yeah,
that.
so we diagonal wipe. Time passes. Kuga wakes up, and yeah, like all 5 of you are like talking to the Mancala boss, and he's just like handing over money. As we see in the background, one of those big fishing cranes pulling the head out of the river. Like, honestly, I thought the whole thing was a joke.
I would have thought so too until it started shooting fire at us.
There's a bonus for the shipping lane. Makes travel a lot easier through that passage. And he's handing you the little pucks that the Mancala use.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what they're called.
What, like?
The currency. The little like resin currency. I don't remember what they're called. Krill? Are they called krill?
Looking at yeah.
Calamari flan.
Flan. That's what he's paying you with, unless you object.
Sure, we can get it converted.
Maybe.
Is there a place we can exchange these for credits?
Not here.
Elsewhere then?
Who want Imperial credits? He looks at you like, what?
It's still the widely accepted currency, isn't it?
Empire's gone. Huh. Why not Flan to take its place?
I
I mean...
I shouldn't have looked at chat. Chat said gold-plated Latinum. That's the wrong franchise, guys. Come on now.
This is like being offered Electrum, no deal.
So fuck off. Fuck off. Not even in a galaxy far, far away does Electrum exist. Fuck off.
You're also the one who suggested surgery on a seismic charge, which is also from Star Trek.
Okay, fair. Fair.
And Lynn's standing there like, well, then why not just currency, have no currency at all? We'll just make everything digital.
I mean, even digital currency still has, like, an earmark. That's one of the Star Wars things.
Yes, but then the hackers would control the currency.
Fair, but then you have to worry about fraud.
Exactly, which would make the hackers much more in demand.
That's why the Mon Calamari's been slowly slave driving people to mine these things called coin bits.
Right?
They'll be worth a fortune eventually.
The Mancala like looks over his shoulder for a minute and he gets real shifty. He goes, I can't give you Imperial credits, but I have a line on New Republic if that'll spend for you. Like takes the flan back, like pulls out a little like thumb drive like from like the back of his belt, like holds it out to you in like his sleeve.
Show takes it.
Okay. You slot it in, you can get a total of 2,400 Republic credits.
That works.
We did need 1,000 credits to pay for refueling the ship, so.
True.
We'll go ahead and add that to...
Probably more for Brooks, like, food and room.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll probably need to restock the back to tank.
So take 1,500 off total.
Alright.
So that would leave you with 900 for the job in profit.
Still
Yeah.
a decent chunk.
That is on show sheet, so I've got those credits in there.
Cool. The Moncala is already, like, not speaking to you because he gives you the shifty credits. So you're just like, I'm out. Done with that. So, the four of you are standing on this, like, dock in the, like, near these roaring falls. Like, what do you want to do?
Well, we should see what we can salvage from that starfighter.
You brought it back with you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My computer...
Did you leave it with the pit droids?
Oh, no.
Oh no.
He was like, oh god. No.
I mean...
Okay, let me phrase this a different way, says the fox, moving a dark side point over. Did you leave it with the pit droids?
Show would not have let them touch that.
Okay, you want to give me that point back?
Yeah.
No, we're gonna keep that point for ourselves.
How do you keep the pit droids away if all four of you are out here with the Moncala?
Arcos, before they left, gave a very sternly worded threat that he would learn how to eat metal if they ever did anything to it.
I'm gonna ask for an intimidation roll, is what I'm gonna ask for. This
I was
is
gonna suggest we let Brooke babysit.
this is funny, so I'm just gonna put 1 red on it and call it a day.
That's coercion, right?
Yes. You get a boost from show. Go ahead and roll it.
Okay, there it is.
Okay, yeah, totally. So, okay, fair enough. So you
Just a Mandalorian randomly saying he'll learn to eat metal if they mess with anyone.
no, it works, it functions. So we crossfade for you guys getting back into the hangar, and you see the pit droids like on the starfighter with tools, and then the door opens and they see the Mando, and they just run in every direction. What do you do?
Those things alone for a second, can you?
Well, Arcos, you made a promise, didn't you?
I did. And as like one's trying to scrape past him, you just hear this loud like lip smacking.
I think it like drops the big like jackhammer it was carrying and just suctions itself up into its head plate and just clatters to the ground. So yeah, you guys are like basically alone in this hangar. Do you want to take a look at your new starfighter? I'm gonna tell you right now, like, you do not have enough money, and they don't have the parts here to make this thing space worthy. And if they did, the Imperial Remnant would be on you so fucking fast. Like,
Yeah.
What? No, that doesn't sound right.
I think the plan is to try to get into this thing's computer and then scrap it for
Okay.
parts.
So, I'm assuming that's Lynn's ball game here. So, are you helping?
Yeah.
Okay, so that'll be a boost and a green. Let's talk through it, shall we? This thing is from a different age, so that's going to be a difficulty. This thing is rusted to hell. That's going to be a red. This thing is water damaged. This thing is, like, just straight up old. This thing is... It's not encrypted, but if there is security you're going to have to get through it, I'm just going to put a setback on that. And then I'm going to spend a point to upgrade the check. You got any boost coming from anywhere?
Do any of your talents apply, Lynn?
Squeaky? I see your
Sorry,
thing lighting up,
I was
but I can't...
accidentally muted.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, I get to remove a setback die. That setback from there being some sort of code.
Yes, you
or
do.
Decryption.
Fair enough.
Code breaker. There's probably no other security because I'm not trying to disable the security device or open a locked door, so that wouldn't apply.
Okay.
If the computer... No, I'm defending the computer system, so yeah, nobody else is trying to hack into this. So that
You can
doesn't
spend a
apply
point.
either. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and spend the point. This is really important.
That'll
to
give you an
show.
upgrade. I am going to spend a point, not to, like, upgrade the check, because I already did that, but I'm going to say you're going to get one shot at this. I'm spending a point to say a failure is a permanent failure.
Yeah, I get to reduce the time needed to complete it by 50%.
Cool.
I don't think that applies.
Oh, it applies, just it's not relevant.
Right.
Go ahead and roll that computer. Oof. Okay. So 2 failures, 4 advantage, but a triumph. So what that will be... Let's talk about the advantage first. I think the advantage is... This will apply a boost to other Old Republic tech that you try to hack into. So make a note somewhere that, like, if you ever see tech like this again, I owe you an advantage. Okay?
Noted.
The 2 failures, you fry this thing. This thing is absolutely fried. Like, it sparks, and it sparks to a degree that it catches fire and causes, like, the like, foam sprinkler to turn on. The triumph, with very... like, Star Warsian way, I think I'm going to do this, is you manage to get 1 data file off of it, and it is encrypted. But it is intact.
Damn it.
It's hard enough dealing with something this old that's been underwater and is in a language you can barely understand. But I did manage to get 1 file. It's just still encrypted.
Okay.
Maybe there's something you know in the ancient history of your house, or the Mandalorians, or their conflicts. Is there any way you can tell what era this starship came from? What affiliation it may have had with your house?
I mean...
Is there anything about the symbols that tells you what the pilot might have had to do with the Mandalorians?
Like, I can tell you, I can't answer that, but I can tell you what era it's from, show.
Mm-hmm.
It is post-Purge Old Republic.
You mean old Republic or the Galactic Republic? The Mandalorian Excision was the Galactic Republic.
Yes, that's what I mean. It's after
Yeah.
that, but that time period.
Okay. That's like... I need to look this up now.
A couple hundred years, I think.
Yeah, that was 700 years ago.
Yeah.
Was the decision.
Lynn's trying to ask this delicately because she knows from her Mandalorian teachings that there was conflict with the Jedi, but she doesn't remember exactly when it was or which houses were involved.
This was from sometime after the Excision? Wait, that doesn't... Curious. This is from 600-700 years ago. But the Mandalorians and the Jedi were enemies at that time. Why does this ship have both symbols?
Is that an indication maybe that this Jedi slew someone from your clan? Is it a kill mark?
I don't think they were inclined to such things.
No, but the reverse is true.
Or maybe it's the other way around? Okay.
It seems curious that the pilot was dressed only in robes, had nothing on them.
The way they were. I found his weapon, but I couldn't get it without risking the ship.
Well, I guess we need to get to this file to the Leviathan, see if there's any clues we can find on it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and scrap this thing.
Is there any other place we could go to get information that on the something this old?
If you want to draw the attention of the Remnant.
Well, it does have the symbol of your clan. There's no other place to go find information in its histories.
That's why. Not here.
So what's the play?
I think the play is just like scrap this thing for parts, just completely dismantle it.
You're not going to get any parts that are useful to the Leviathan.
Yeah.
So just sell the parts for credits?
You won't get very much. You're more liable to sell it for just like the base metal. You'll probably get
unless.
Go ahead.
I was going to say unless there's anything that might be useful to Cookie in projects related to anything other than the Leviathan, since we are eventually going to establish a new covert.
I mean, that would be Cookie's call. Do you want a busted up starfighter?
I mean, not really. Considering
Just had to ask.
Considering we just fried this thing's computer systems it's been sitting underwater for millennia,
Right.
and it's old Republic tech. I'm not sure that there's much use I could use it for.
If Swiggy had rolled better on that, I actually would have been able to tell you some interesting things about it, but
yeah,
I can't now. So
thus is the fate of the dice.
yep.
This is the way.
So if you guys want to like just melt it down,
Yeah.
you'll be able to
Yeah.
get like 300 credits for it, which is 300 more than you had.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
Yeah, and then I think we just use the Leviathan's computer systems to see if we could decrypt any of this information.
Okay, you wanna do that before you leave?
Well, we'll probably do it as we're traveling.
Okay. So
there is one thing I'd like to do before we leave, and that's fix the shield.
oh yeah, no, that was factored in that extra money that Vader took off of the bounty. You're fine.
Oh, good. Oh,
Yeah.
good. I will adjust the sheet then. So then, never mind. I don't have anything we need to do.
Okay, so if you want to take a look at that, like we get the shot of the Leviathan like flying away from the spaceport. My question is, who has the file? Sho or Lynn?
I'd assume it would be on like Lynn's personal computer.
Unless she gave it to you.
I think Lynn would have probably held on to it unless Sho insisted she have it.
Lynn's better at this. She would have left it with them.
Okay. So you wanna spend some time on the ship decrypting it?
Yeah, I think Lynn would want to have Sho there in case Sho knew any of the symbology or what have you that might.
This is gonna take like an indeterminate Star Warsian amount of time, friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, show will help.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, just do you have a cheat sheet of anything that might be relevant based on these? Here's these symbols I see.
Okay.
Recognize anything?
Sho can upgrade the check. Before we do that, though, real quick, give me a piloting check. Kuga.
Okay.
You get a boost from Brooke.
Pilot space.
Cool. That's about what I expected. Noted. Anyway, so you want to spend your downtime, Lynn, working on this file,
Yes.
fixing this, untangling this like Gordian knot, basically.
Yep.
Okay. So, it is encrypted. It is old. It is damaged. It is difficult in and of itself. Actually, do that. Do that. Spend a dark side point. You get a boost from Show Helping. Go ahead and make that computer's roll.
Did you remove the decryption?
It wasn't a setback.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Yep. I good call, keeping me honest, but it doesn't apply here. Wow, look at you. Okay. So yeah, so we get the shot of like time passing, you guys going about your business on the ship doing various things. And as we're in, is it called hyperspace in Star Wars? The blue thing?
Yeah.
As we're in hyperspace, we see Kuga like turn around as you're like getting close to Duxon, because I assume that's your next destination. And like go over to the intercom, and you're about to like let people know that you're about to arrive in Duskson. At the same time, we see Lynn, like, there's a blip on her computer, and the screen lights up, and a bunch of windows open to signify that she got something. And then we cut over to show you're about to get 2 messages. So like your communicator probably goes off, and Lynn is like, I got through the decryption. At the same time, over the intercom, Kuga's like, we're almost to Duxton, guys. Anyone can go.
Show's like looking over Lynn's shoulder, like,
Oh, you're in the room with her.
I figured I would be, yeah.
Like, it's been days. Is that okay?
I suppose, but like, yeah, she's
Like, you guys
going-
can be hot bunking, it's fine.
either way, like, she's going to Lynn, like,
Okay.
check this out.
Fair enough. There's a lot of, like, miscellaneous data in this file, under its own, like, encryption. And even then, like, it's difficult to piece it. But there is a holovid file.
I haven't
Alright.
looked at it yet. I figure it's something that you would want to see.
Well, let's see it.
You play the holovid file, and yeah, like the blue, like, Star Wars hologram, like, flickers over Lynn's computer space, and we see a man in Jedi robes. He's got like part of his head is shaved. He's got that, like, beaded braid around his ear that Anakin sported. He's a young man, very obviously Mandalorian. Like, from the cut of his jaw and, like, just the way that he looked. Like, very obviously that is a Mandalorian in Jedi robes. And immediately, like, the very first thing he says is, "My queen." And I think we cut to, like Lynn and Sho, like, looking over this thing. And he says, it has been a certain number of days since my infiltration. There doesn't seem to be any significant movement as of right now. However, I still cannot access the archives. The Jedi have sent me to wherever the fuck you just were, to collect some valuable materials. As always, I will be sending it forward, or sending some of them forward. This is the way, and then it cuts out.
A spy? Why did...
So it would seem. But what queen would that be?
I can only assume he meant Queen of Mandalore.
I'll say this, neither of you recognize the dude.
Yeah, he's like 700 years old.
That, and he's just a dude.
Yeah.
It's not like Mace Windu, right? Like,
Yeah.
Mandalorian number 364.
basically. What I mean is he's not immediately recognizable.
Yeah. Why did Clan Ordo have spies in the Jedi Order?
Well, you did say there was conflict with the Jedi back then.
Apparently he wanted
But
into the archives.
My question is, how would you infiltrate the Jedi Order? With how would you pass their tests? There must have been some sort of oaths or trials
Hey.
to go through. to be part of their
So
group?
I don't know if Sho knows this, but even back then, Jedi only really accepted children.
I'm aware.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Mandalorians tend to have a significant number of children at their disposal.
Like,
But this wasn't a kid, this was a dude.
right.
And he said number of days since infiltration. It hadn't been that long.
I mean, no, it was multiple thousands.
Well, infiltration of a place. He could have been talking about infiltration of a place, not infiltration.
Yeah,
of a group.
like. Thank
I
you.
got into the Jedi Temple finally.
Thank you for the defense, Squeaky. But this one thing, I'm quite confident I got right. Don't worry.
Okay.
It's weird. Don't misunderstand me. It is weird, and on the surface it doesn't make sense. But I'm confident that I didn't miss anything glaring with this.
That's fine. I believe you.
Me too.
But yes, you are correct. The Jedi only take kids.
Should I make a roll to see if Sho knows that?
Sure. That would be
Education or lore?
lore, probably. The Jedi fell out of fashion pretty hard. You're gonna be rolling against Imperial propaganda. Which I think is 3 purple. I'm debating if I want to do 3 purple or 2 purple and a red. I'm gonna do two purple and a red, because the Imperial propaganda machine is strong.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make that roll. Unless you want to spend
no.
points.
I'll leave it for now. I've
Okay.
got 2 green and a yellow, so even roll.
Fair enough. Okay, 2 successes, but a despair. I think, like,
There have been so many to spare this session.
I mean, I like playing with a lot of dice, so like obviously we would skew higher than normal play.
Yeah.
But I think there's not really stakes here. I think the despair in this case is literal. Like, show, like, you got what you wanted, and the despair is like, this agent was sent as a child. Like,
Yeah.
Somebody was playing the long game.
So, like, the realization comes to her, wait a minute, the Jedi only accept Oh.
yeah, exactly.
The Jedi only accept children into their ranks.
Like, I'll say it, that's dark even for me. Like,
Yeah. He was sent as a child to infiltrate them.
That must have taken some strong conditioning.
He would have... To be young enough, he would have only just sworn his oath. Even younger than most people do.
What was so valuable in the archives that your clan would send someone so young on such a delicate mission?
here's a stupid question, because I don't actually know. Does the Jedi Temple on Coruscant still stand after the second Death Star?
That is a good question.
Because that's where the archives were.
I thought it got.
Part of
I
it
thought
got
burned to the ground. But...
Part of it got by Cad Bane, but I don't think the whole of it got by Cad Bane. But I don't know. I don't know its status in this time period.
I'm looking.
Because I have a feeling if it still stands, show's gonna be like, I don't know, but I intend to find out. Let's go to Coruscant. Which, I mean, I'm down for.
I'm looking to see what they did with the Jedi Archives.
Well, but then again, if the mission succeeded, then that information would also potentially be in a Mandalorian archive somewhere.
Well, no, because the mission didn't
like,
succeed because he crashed.
I might be bullshitting,
sure.
but I think Palpatine saw value in the archives.
I agree. Like, if the Jedi Temple in Coruscant got burned down, I could completely 100% see that. But Palpatine's not a dumbass.
Uh-huh.
And the Jedi Archives, I feel like would have been preserved. Even if publicly it was like, we lost the valuable Jedi Archive, like, he kept them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I feel like too. That maybe destroying the symbol, but not the valuables.
Right,
inside.
but that, however, is a moot point for the Mandalorians. Like, you cannot. I think it's reasonable. Like, correct me if you disagree, Vader. I think it is reasonable that, like, either way, whether or not the archives exist or they were destroyed, the public believes they were destroyed.
Uh-huh.
So, therefore, they are out of reach of Shoshe Saul.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I just said the words Palpatine's not a dumbass with a straight face. I feel dirty.
I mean, he was a man with a plan.
He was a
If nothing
dumbass!
else. That's...
Every major player in Star Wars, with the arguable exception of Leia Organa, is a dumbass. Every single one.
I mean, yeah, it pretty much fits into the same category as anybody else trying to cheat death.
Fair.
Okay, so during what I'm reading is during Order 66, a lot of it was lost as the Jedi themselves tried to stop them from taking the data, but what was left, Vader handed over to Palpatine.
Okay.
Yeah.
But again, that's out of your hands anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, this guy wanted to get into the archives, and he was doing Jedi work to do it, and he, like, that was his last transmission before he crashed.
Mm-hmm.
He probably got by a dragon.
Yep. Oh. Unless you want to go raiding New Republic headquarters on Coruscant. Not much we can do.
Well, there's so much information got scattered all around the galaxy in the ensuing conflict, so who knows what might turn up. At least now we know a little bit more what to be looking for.
Mm-hmm. There's always a chance we find more on Duxon.
Remind me. Is Duxon in Republic space?
I believe Onderon is independent.
Okay.
It has been for millennia.
Okay.
But it's in a trade route or near a trade route.
It's kind of off the beaten path from the trade route. It's kind of in its own little sector.
Okay. So then about this point, Kuga's voice comes over the intercom, like, "Hey, we're approaching Duxon. Are you going to Duxon or Onderon?"
I think the agreement was we were going to Duxon.
Okay. So yeah, we get the punch-in shot of the big green planetoid that is Duxon spiraling around the slightly larger planetoid that is Onderon. And you guys, like, punch in, come, like, fly down, and you're just surrounded by jungle in every direction. And it's very obviously apparent, Kuga, that A, it is going to be hard to get this plane to land anywhere in this jungle. And B, there is metal fucking everywhere with a planetary scan.
Oh my. I see why the Imperials would build refineries here. My goodness.
However, I need you to make a piloting check, Kugazil.
That's my specialty.
Because, well, I'll let you know when you make that piloting check. I've already set it up. Go ahead and roll it. Cool.
Wow.
You might be wondering what the hell just happened. Kuga, as you're in the process of saying, like, I understand why the Empire came here, all of your sensors go down. Your entire cockpit goes dark. You are gliding. The engine's cut off. All of your fucking electronics go. Like, no scan, no nothing. Just gone. From behind you, Brooke goes, I just lost radio feed. Like, completely.
Yes, and
Computers are down too.
yes, and I just lost the entire ship. What happened?
Let me just say, I'm glad Arcos is awake, because that would have been bad.
Uh-huh.
Like, there is no, like, it basically, it's like somebody cut the main power line. Like, there is nothing functioning on the ship. Your wrist comms are not working. Like, when Kuka shouted, like, what happened, like, he said it verbally, like, the intercom is down.
Did we get hit by an EMP?
Not that you saw, Kuka.
No, nothing like that. It's almost like something cut the main power line.
So, you're going down?
Lynn?
You all might want to hold on to something. This is going to be a bumpy landing.
Yeah. Go ahead and make that piloting roll again. This one's substantially easier, but still, oh boy. Okay, so 2 advantage. So it's gonna be a bumpy landing, but what do you want to use that 2 advantage on?
Let's see. I think
You wanna do the vine net gambit where you can't get out but your ship's not busted?
yeah. Let's do
Okay.
that.
So yeah, we see from Kuga's perspective, we see the ship like dip below the tree line. You're like, hold on. You pull back on the wheel as hard as you can. Try to point the ship upward. No power whatsoever. There's snapping of vines. There's birds going up in every direction. And finally, you stop. The camera stops, and you're just hanging from tons of vines and fallen trees about 30 feet off the ground. But you're well and truly entangled.
Well, good news, we're here. Bad news, the ship isn't going anywhere for a while.
Oh boy. Well, it could be
Well,
worse.
at least we're at the right place.
Show goes, it could be worse. A couple of the vines snap and you drop a little bit.
I think it's worse.
You had to say something. Right. Somebody get to the cargo hold, check the night screamers.
Yeah.
The
On it.
fucking what?
The 88R Night Screamer speeder bike.
Nice. And Brooke like takes her headset off, goes out to the thing, like we see her like go over to the speeder bike, mess with it with her like little Rhodian hands, and like nothing happens. She's like, "Electronics are out. I think the mechanicals work though."
It's not nothing. It's not nothing. You have to look at the bright sides right now.
Groaning of vines and metal.
Look at the bright sides.
Lynn's already grabbing anything she would need.
Yeah, Show's gonna grab some of those thermal detonators.
Okay, they are also not working.
What? Oh.
So something tells me that the spare energy packs we have also aren't going to be working.
Something tells me our guns might not work.
Your guys' guns, yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, maybe it's just a radius. We just have to get away from the area.
Right.
Well, still gonna... That's a good point. I'm still gonna grab some of the thermal detonators.
Nope, that's 2.
I've got some spare encumbrance. Is there anything you want me to carry?
Right. We have rations. I have a couple of survival kits in here. We'll take those at least.
Take them where? I can't get the hatch open.
Right. Well, this just got interesting.
Well, I assume it has a manual override.
Do I look strong enough to use that?
I didn't mean you.
Argos, did you mind?
And he's like, he just finally comes out from like having to pull a door open.
Right, just rip the door open.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything. It's the planet that did something, I think.
Is that like immediate glare of I don't trust you, but okay.
Yeah, you go down to the cargo hold, Arcos, and the little Rhodian is standing beside the like manual release for the bay doors.
Well, okay. Sits down this little like box of something he was eating out of. To try to pull the manual.
Pull
right
the
on
big
door.
the big lever down with a crunch. There's a groan of metal as the stuff goes free. Just utter releases. The bay drops down, caught by the vines, slowly descending, and almost immediately a like sparkly black mist begins to seep in. Here's the thing: outside of the cockpit, looks completely normal. Looks like sunny jungle. Back here, space is seeping through the door that Arcos just opened.
What in the...
What the hell?
Brooke is hiding behind Arcos as the hold begins to fill with this mist.
I don't know if we should breathe this.
No, we certainly shouldn't.
What do you guys want to do?
And to pull the lever to close the door again.
You can't. All you did was release like the emergency release on the back. Yeah, it's electronics to close it again.
And none of the scanners at all are working.
Nope.
And not even our comm links are working.
Nope.
Is there some random piece of like a loose nut or bolt or something I can just toss at the mist to see what happens?
Sure. you throw like something like at the mist to see if it's solid. It passes into it, and you all hear a scream, and then like a sphere of it fires at Lynn. I'm gonna need a coordination roll from you.
Oh no.
Let me set this up for you. Go ahead and make that roll. Actually, I'm gonna spend a dark side point to upgrade this. Now make that roll. If ever there was a time for a dark side roll, it's now. Cool. So you get what you want, so you dodge out of the way, but I think the despair is it brushes you. You don't take any damage, but this like howling like bit of energy comes flying out. You dive out of the way, and it like catches your leg, but you seem to be okay. Brooke screams, and the mist continues to seep into the cargo bay.
Okay, I've seen my fair share of dangerous beasts, but what the fuck is this?
You know, something tells me we should have read up on this place a bit before we came here.
It's ancient history. I mean,
I'm not talking
unless
about
you
I'm not talking about history. I'm talking about flora, fauna.
Does this look like flora or fauna to you?
It looks like wizard shit to me.
The Empire isn't much into cataloging flora and fauna, I can tell you right now.
What is wizard shit?
I mean, funnily enough, Cookie said the secret word. Show, make a lore roll.
Okay.
Let me set it up.
Yeah, I said it.
Go ahead and make that roll. Okay. Wizard shit is like, wait, shit, I read about this. Fuck.
Oh.
If you recall, we had a conversation about this.
I knew I had a bad feeling about this.
What is it, show?
Would you believe me if I said evil?
We threw something at it, it screamed, and it attacked us. It seems like the fucking definition of good, show.
So the mist begins to coalesce into one single, extremely dark form. Like, basically like the reverse of letting like the pressure out of like a pressure cooker. And then standing in front of you is a ghost. It is jet black, it has stars in it, you can't tell what species it's supposed to be. It is a humanoid figure in a robe and a hood, and it says, "I wouldn't say evil, Mandalorians."
Oh boy. I think...
Marcos is looking around everywhere at this point.
Yeah, right?
Show's like trying to flip the switch on her rifle, and I assume it's still not working.
Oh no, it's working.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh, then she blasts this fucking thing.
Okay, that is a phenomenal idea. Let me just holy hell. Okay, Shoshe Saw is going to shoot. Gun, go ahead.
Shoot gun at
Wow, okay, so, oh, fucking hell. Okay, cool, so that's 11 damage. You blast it. It explodes. It explodes into black mist that completely fills the entire ship. All of you are blinded. Brooke is like thrown off of her feet. And you all hear, like, basically right in front of you, even though you're spread out, you hear, Now that's not very sporting. And here I was flying the flag of truce. Do you really want to test me? And, like, lightning crackles out of the cloud and, like, smites a wall.
Sho, what the fuck?
I think you read the wrong book.
I do not like this wizard shit.
You and me both, big guy.
All right, fine, we'll hear you out.
No, it's a bit late for that. You're on your own. And it disappears.
That's stupid. You don't demand an offer of that and then immediately go, too late. You could have just left. Wizards are stupid.
Wizards are stupid. You're right.
Right, so I don't think the plan changes that much. We're taking what we can that we can use, and we're getting somewhere.
Just real quick, Show's also gonna check the prime on the thermal and see if it works now.
Nope. The electronics are still busted. Listen, I can't justify you not having weapons, but I'm gonna fry your electronics for a little bit.
Alright. Well, I don't think we've seen the last of him.
Yeah,
Or-
I think the plan changes just a little bit when there's a giant cloud of darkness stalking.
Anyways, let's get down from here. I assume we're, like, suspended in the air.
Yeah, you're
somewhat.
suspended about 30 feet off the ground.
Alright,
Yeah,
well...
Lynn goes
I've
ahead
got-
and grabs a couple rations and detonators, and so that more than one person has them.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've got... And I'm gonna go ahead and use my built-in ascension gear in my armor to
Okay.
rappel down.
Yeah, totally. Brooke is dazedly getting to her feet. And so you rappel down into the jungle. And immediately the scanner on your helmet comes back on. And right in front of you, under couple feet of vegetation, this is how common this is going to be, there's just a walker.
Sorry, wait. As in...
As
What
in
kind of
a
walker?
siege engine, yes.
Oh, okay, yeah, I get you now.
Yes, no, he meant a zombie. It's just sleeping right now.
I mean,
No, I thought you meant something. I thought you meant a personal walker as opposed to
no.
an
Sorry, a Star Wars walker.
an AT-AT.
Not necessarily an AT-AT. That's a little bit too new, but the precursor to it, yeah.
So a TE.
Yes.
An AT-TE.
Basically.
So this is older Imperial tech.
Or might not be Imperial, but
Yeah, basically, I don't know specifically what it is because I don't know enough about ancient Star Wars history. The point is, your scanner picks up beneath the vegetal detritus of the jungle, immediately under the ship, and Walker.
well, interesting.
What do your Mandalorian eyes see, Sho?
Oh my god, you...
As opposed to what exactly, Cougar?
Don't worry about it.
Should I worry about the shadow creature.
We're all worried about that, but he's not here right now, so...
How do you know that?
Do you see black mist around us?
No.
Then it's safe to assume he's not here.
I mean, the unfortunate fact of the matter is I don't see much of anything at the moment.
What do you mean?
Well, how do I put this? I can't see.
Right. Think happy thoughts, think happy thoughts.
It seems relatively safe down here.
Down? We're not on the ground?
Not yet, anyways.
Great. Also, happy thoughts. Well, the diner was nice. That's a bit of a ways out. Now there's just jungle, ghost creatures, and apparently I hit my head or something.
We'll get that sorted soon. Don't worry, Brooke.
Are the electronics still out?
Unfortunately.
Alright, well, I suppose I can wait here. Like, sits down in the middle of the cargo bay.
You know, I honestly don't know if it's worse if we bring you or you stay here.
At the very least, I can figure out where the ship is. Or what's on it, I mean. As opposed to out there. I'll just slow you down. Granted, I don't want to go with you even though I could see.
You make a fair point, Brooke.
But I should like the doctor. It sounds like Sho went first. But then again, if the electronics aren't working, then a doctor's kind of useless.
If you can't figure out what caused electronics to go down and get a comm back on, just get to us, alright?
Sure, I'll just pilot the ship to you.
No.
Like, waves
Yes.
a hand in front of her face.
Yes, let the blind woman drive. That sounds like a great idea.
I let the blind woman bumble through the jungle. That also sounds wonderful. Are there predators on this planet?
Quite a few of them, in
I'm
fact.
staying here. The vine seems sturdy, the ship is a ship, and even if it falls, I'll probably won't feel anything.
Sounds like a good enough plan to me.
What's taking you all so long?
Not all of us have ascension gear.
We're also trying to figure out what to do with Brooke, and we figured it out.
What? Leave her here? That seems like the only reasonable option.
Alright.
Brooke, I'm assuming you're, looking at her, Kuga.
Yeah.
Brooke, flinches very slightly and turns her head like she's, heard something.
What is it, Brooke?
Nothing, just getting used to the sounds of the ship.
We'll come back for you when we can.
How many days of rations did you say you had?
Well, the ship itself is supplied for 3 months' worth.
Oh, then I'll be fine. Off you go. If my vision doesn't return in 3 months, I have much larger problems.
If we don't return in 3 months, then there's much more problems.
The ship has fuel. I'm just saying.
I know, Brooke, I know.
So, yeah, how are the three of you getting off the back of the ship? Mind you, the cargo bay isn't open all the way. It got caught in the vine, so it's basically, like, completely horizontal instead of a ramp.
Very carefully.
I mean, fair, you just go jump off?
I guess Lynn's gonna look to see if there's any vines that they might be able to climb down.
There is absolutely vines that you could climb down. You're covered in vines.
I think that's what she's gonna do then, try to climb down the vines.
Okay. You get down to the bottom with show. Ta-da.
Yeah.
Okay.
Climb down the vents.
So we diagonal wipe to all four of you standing like down below the ship, and yeah, like you're standing amid like jungle, but also like a junkyard. And that's only slightly hyperbole.
Right, so, we're here now, we have no idea where this refinery is, and there's predators everywhere. Where do we start?
Well, we have an idea of where it is. We just don't have the electronics online to check the coordinates.
By the way, all of your personal equipment comes back on when you come down here.
Oh, I take that back.
My bad on that front.
So, it's just on the ship we can't use them.
Just in the air, maybe.
So we just need a way to establish where we are now to determine which way we need to go to find the refinery. I hope I'm remembering correctly. They were given coordinates.
Sort of. You know, like, the hemisphere of Duxon that it's supposedly on.
Well, that's a start.
Like, typically in the situation, you would use the ship scanners from orbit to narrow it down.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is... It's a moon, though. It's not super huge.
I mean, it's still a planetoid.
Yeah.
Well, here's one way to narrow it down. Can we see Andron?
Fair. That is a good question. Roll Destiny. Yes.
Well, we can see Andron, so we know which hemisphere we're in, at least.
Is it the one we're supposed to be in?
That is the question. Do we know from the coordinates then if it was on the side facing Andron or the side away from Andron?
I'm gonna be an asshole and say the moon rotates.
Yeah. There's no guarantee it's locked like Earth's moon is. Rotation locked.
I mean, you need
fair.
rotation to support like the specific gravity needed for like plant life and shit. So it almost certainly rotates.
Uh-huh.
Well, I guess the next possible course of action is to follow the trail of dead technology and hope it takes us to some sort of landmark we can use.
Can you make a computers check for me to do like a wide spectrum scan? I've already got it punched in, so feel free to make that computer check.
Gotta get to the right page of my sheet. There it is.
Boop. Nice. So yeah, you're like punching on your wrist computer as you're like, let's just follow the trail of broad spectrum scan. Oh, it's everywhere.
Well, there goes that idea.
I didn't realize there was so much here. I had assumed Duxon had been abandoned for centuries.
Exactly.
Well, that just means that centuries ago there was a lot of technology and no one has come to claim it since.
I mean, sure, the Imperials were here, but... like, this stuff looks old.
Yep.
Question, is there, like, a visible hatch on the thing?
You cannot, like, standing where you are without your scanners, you cannot see any of this stuff. It just looks like jungle.
Okay.
Well, we're not gonna find this refinery standing down. Or standing still.
Well, we just pick a direction.
Well, knowing what you know of the wildlife, would they be more or less inclined to be near what's left of civilization here?
I mean, there could be a role for that, right?
I'm not entirely sure I understand the question. Yes, obviously there is a role for that, but I don't understand what it is you're trying to find out.
Like, if we know that the wildlife stays in the jungle, then trying to go where there are fewer creatures increases the chance that we find something that isn't all jungle.
Apparently the site's been abandoned for years. Looking at Earth, it only takes a couple of months for shit to start retaking it.
So there's really no way to find an installation without basically stumbling across it.
This place was basically abandoned when Palpatine was killed. Which is, what, 9 years ago?
Yeah.
Something like that?
It's been a few years.
This is the type of place that requires a lot of infrastructure.
Alright, well...
Well, so we look for a place that's not quite as overgrown as the rest of the jungle, then.
So again, we just pick a direction and hope we find it.
Yep.
Is there a way to scan for density of the undergrowth?
Yes. I would say, like, obviously, the easiest way to do this is to use the ship. But since the ship does not appear to be working, and you guys don't seem particularly inclined to solve that problem, which is fine, then, like, yeah, I would say, like, you guys have to have a direction to continue the story. I think it is reasonable that Lynn could rig something up. What specifically are you looking for? I mean, the Imperial Refinery, dumbass. Yes, thank you. No, what I mean is, like, in this specific role, what are you scanning for?
basically looking to see if there is a direction where there is less plant growth than the rest of it. Like, whatever was here 9 or 10 years ago. So if they made paths and what have you, it would have only have 9 or 10 years of growth as opposed to 100, 200, 300 years of jungle.
While that is valid,
I suppose the other option is to try to see if there's anything in the vicinity that's affecting the ship.
Yes, that is an option. Is Lynn a botanist? Like, correct me if I'm wrong, and please, anyone, correct me if I'm incorrect about this, but, like, unless you know what the fuck you're looking at, 10 years of growth and a year of growth look identical.
Yeah, I don't have any knowledge skills, I think, that would be specifically for that. But I would also be down for scanning to see if there's a way to tell if there's anything in the vicinity affecting the electronics on the ship. Like, if we could at least get the electronics working again.
Okay. That will certainly be a computer roll. I've got your difficulty put in. Feel free to roll it. So you can scan to see if there's something affecting the ship, certainly. The success is that you scan, you get a positive result. The threat is it doesn't make any sense.
I can't figure out these readings.
There is something affecting the ship. There's something affecting a field around you guys. It's weaker here, stronger further up, but it is not, like, electronic in origin.
I suspect there's more wizardry shit afoot.
Or if it is electronic, it's not like anything you've ever seen before. It's like using a different, like, band than you've ever seen.
The interference is less here than it is with the ship, but it's something I've not encountered before.
If I can make a comparison, it's like all of the electronic signals that you're used to receiving are like treble clef, and this is suddenly bass.
That totally makes sense.
Cool.
It's at a minor scale instead of the major.
Correct.
Can you see where it's coming from?
It's too broad. It's
No.
everywhere.
You can see where it's coming from. It's suffused in the upper atmosphere.
It's the atmosphere. The stronger, the higher it goes.
Oh, good.
Almost sounds like a defense mechanism of some sort designed to crash ships trying to come here.
Didn't you say you had read something in the lore?
I don't know anything like this. Never heard of something like this before.
So
Everything
you
I
have
know
no
about
way.
this place dates back 4,000 years.
Are you so sure that won't be relevant?
I mean, I
Yeah.
could make a lore roll, see if I can recall anything.
By all means.
Evil, darkness, whatever you wish to call it, isn't exactly new either.
That all set up, or
Yep. So yeah, feeding off what you heard of before, like, there's weird, like, Jedi adjacent shit on this planet, and it is bad. And Jedi do weird shit. Jedi deal with weird shit.
Well, probably has something to do with whatever Jedi stuff is on this planet, but I don't know more than that.
Then it sounds like we're back to square one. Pick a direction and go.
We gonna do that then?
Well, if I had to wager a guess. No, the moon's rotations would differ, so that won't help.
So if you want to pick a direction and go, that's fine. That sounds like you're leaving it up to destiny.
Yeah.
Alright. Who would like to pick a direction and go? That'll be the last shot of the episode, by the way.
I guess Show will.
Alright. Go ahead and roll Destiny, Show, if you're going to take the lead on this. Ooh.
Ouch. Oh gosh, that's...
We're heading toward the darkness.
That's wonderful. So, yeah, like, you guys, like, pick a direction and go. Show's like, alright, fine, we're going this way. You set off into the jungle, and the camera pans up above the canopy and back, and in the direction you're going on the horizon, there's a mountain. And, like, just a big, like, brown, like, cliff that rises up like a tooth out of this jungle. And carved into the face of this cliff is... There's no two ways about this. A Sith statue. And the camera goes onto this Sith statue, and we see darkness coalesce on top of its head, and a robed figure looks down at our Mandalorians, and that's the last shot of the episode.
Oh boy.
Oh boy! You never should have told me there was dark side shit on Duxon, Vader. You never should have told me. So, let's do some shoutouts. I am tired. Gentleman Joe Gaff, give us a shout out, please.
Of course, I had to run downstairs right when you said that.
My bad. If you need to, you go do that.
No, I'm okay. Just Joe Gaff. That's all I got.
You good, dude? Playing some games, hanging out, been with us for a while. Hey, it's glad to have you here, Joe.
It's always fun.
And sorry about that, man. I did not mean to do that to you.
No, it's alright.
Sir Squeaky, give us a shout out, please.
My name is Sir Squeaky. I'm a regular in the channel and on the Discord. I enjoy storytelling and stories and games of all types. Always happy to talk.
I hope you had fun tonight, Squeaky.
I did.
Vader, give us a shout out, please.
Greetings, everyone. I am the Journeyman Vader. I am a moderator on Kit's Discord and Twitch, and a streamer on Twitch myself. You can find me over on Kit's Discord, on Twitch at twitch.tv/JourneymanVader, and on Twitter at VaderSidious.
Cookie, finish us out, please.
Hey, what up? I'm Cookie, also known as the Extinct Bacon on just about every other platform. I love a lot of things D&D and tabletop, and if you do too, my DMs are always open. If you like what you saw here tonight, come back tomorrow night, and a few of us are coming to Voices of the Mountain.
For my part, as ever, I am the Sharp-Eyed Kitsune, the teller of tales and the weaver of mysteries, the masked bard. This is a channel that is devoted to lore and storytelling, world building, role playing, and discussions of those things. So if that's to your fancy, you're in excellent company here, and I do hope that you enjoyed your time with us. I stream every single day that my health permits me to do so, and we're rolling with advantage in 2021 and beyond, which is 2 chances to catch a given stream. Afternoon streams have been sparse recently, and that's largely because I don't know what's going on with my health, but it is very difficult for me to get up in the afternoon, but I've been trying to do afternoon streams as often as I can, and to that end, we will be back tomorrow at the very least with the return of Decisive Action Voices of the Mountain, a D&D 5th edition module double feature of Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden, and Storm King's Thunder. Stop by if you like tabletop role-playing games, or if you don't know if you like tabletop role-playing games, we'd love to have you. For now, I need to get out of here, but as always, it's time to leave you with these parting words. From myself, my keepers, and those joining me on the stage this evening, to all of you, the regulars, the followers, the newcomers, and the lurkers, whether you're just having a seat by the fire or you've got a running tab at the bar, remember, there's always more stories to tell, and hopefully, I'll see you all next time for the return of The Way and a new chapter. Good night, you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by, and hope to see you again soon.